Lambeau Field in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The NFL on CBS, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Green Bay Packers before another capacity crowd. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. Welcome to the first regular season game of 1990. Two teams with high hopes for this season. The Packers 10-6 a year ago, just missed the playoffs. The Rams, of course, 11-5, went all the way to the NFC Conference Championship game before losing to the 49ers. I'm joined again today by John Madden. John, I think widely perceived the Rams one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the NFL, but troubled by injuries today.
Well, you know, they have Jim Everett. We talked to him yesterday. He feels great, but the other half of that, Flipper Anderson has a pulled muscle, and he hasn't practiced much. Henry Ellard, his big receiver, hasn't practiced much. So I think they're going to be used today, but used as decoys. And I think Everett will go mostly to Robert Del Pino and Pete Holohan.
The Packers fashioned that 10-6 record a year ago, led by Don Mikowski. He held out most of camp, signed last week, is here, is active, but is not scheduled to start. That goes to Anthony Dilweg.
Well, and Dilweg last year, he only had 1 pass. He was 1 for 1 for 7 yards all season, but he's a confident guy, and I don't know that it's going to be as much a quarterback thing for the Green Bay offense as it is pass protection. In their last 2 preseason games, they didn't pass protect well. They didn't handle the blitz well. They had a lot of turnovers. As Lindy Infante says, we're a good team, but we're not a good enough team to win with a lot of turnovers. They have to be eliminated today.
It is a muggy September afternoon. We had a hint of fall earlier this week, but it's turned a little warmer today, 77 degrees. Winds out of the southwest 5 to 10. Forecast for partly sunny. We were blessed with an overnight rain shower that cooled things off a little bit. It was up in the 90s earlier last week. Here is Mike Lansford, who is getting ready to kick off. The Packers won the toss and will receive. These two teams played in September in Los Angeles last year, and the Rams won a thriller 41-38. Anthony Dilweg, 3rd-round draft choice of a year ago, will get his first start today. Charles Wilson and Vince Workman are deep. That'll go into the end zone, come out to the 20, touchback. First down 10, Green Bay. Now here is Dilweg, who will get his first start ever. He played only 2 plays offensively last year, and he will face Doug Reed, Alvin Wright, and Brian Smith up front. The linebackers, Wilcher, Stams, Fred Strickland, and the recently signed Kevin Green. And a makeshift secondary, Sutton, Humphrey, Newsom, and Newman. Jerry Gray is out. Alfred Jackson may or may not play today, and Darrell Henley is also on injured reserve. So 3 quarterbacks down for the Rams. First and 10 from the 20. Forward. Gain of a couple. Tackle made by Fred Strickland, and Fullwood, who had arthroscopic knee surgery just 3 weeks ago, is down on the first play. While they tend to him, here is the offense. Rutgers, Ard, Campen, Euchre, and Tony Mandarich gets the start at right tackle. The tight end is Ed West. In the backfield, it's Woodside, Fullwood, who is injured. The wide receivers, Perry Kemp and Sterling Sharp. He of 90 receptions a year ago.
And they're looking at the knee, the left knee of Fullwood again. As you said, he just had surgery 3 weeks ago, arthroscopic surgery. Here, the first play of the first game of the 1990 season, he carries it, and the knee goes again. But I tell you, they were really counting on Brent Fullwood this year to be their runner. You know, they used 2 backs. One is a runner, that's Fullwood. The other one, Keith Woodside, is more of an H-back, wide receiver type of guy. And Fullwood was expected to carry a big part of that running load for the Packers.
The backup, if Fullwood can't continue, and it would appear now he cannot, would be Michael Haddix, one-time Philadelphia Eagle first-round draft choice, who was picked up on Plan B a year ago.
And the other backup is Darrell Thompson, who's a rookie from Minnesota that they liked an awful lot. We'll take one more look here. We'll see. He gets twisted, and as he's getting twisted, he gets hit from the top.
Second down at 8. Fullwood up and walked off by himself, so that's a good sign. Play fake, Dillwig. Sterling Sharp. And with that pass, Anthony Dillwig equals the number of passes he completed in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what you try and do. You try and get a young quarterback or any quarterback that doesn't have a lot of confidence. You try and get him something easy, something simple, something short that first play of the game where his success can be a high ratio.
That's a gain of 9. Anthony Dillwig, third-round draft choice last year, a graduate of Duke University. And Fullwood is back in. Rams are blitzing. Into the flat for Fullwood. He's got 3 men out as a blocking convoy. And out of bounds with another first down. No sign of the injury on that play.
I think Fullwood was probably scared more than anything, but that was a screen pass. Billy Ard, the starting left guard, remember him, the old New York Giant left guard, got out there and made a good block on that screen for Fullwood.
Gain of
Billy
11.
Ard, 67 there.
Rams make a defensive adjustment as Fred Strickland heads to the sidelines. And Brett Farinars comes in. Perry Kemp wide to the right. Fullwood. Frank stands with the tackle, gain of 5.
Nice run by Fullwood. What you try and do, you start the ball deep, and then you go and key the nose tackle, or the block in the nose tackle. The nose tackle plays off right, you cut back left. Just watch, we'll see. Here's his key. That's Alvin Wright. Now he's going to start in, and he's going to go the opposite. See him double team right there? Now that gives him the cut back to the right.
2nd down and 5. No score. 12:35 to go, first quarter. Well played. Michael Haddix. And he's cut down for a loss of 1. Mike Wilcher, number 54, first man there.
Yeah, Mike Wilcher is always going to play strong side this year. He's going to play with Doug Reed. Wilcher and Reed will always be on the strong side. Brian Smith and Kevin Green will always be on the opposite side. Now, Wilcher and Reed are the run guys. So if you're going to run, I would stay away from that side, go to the other side.
On 3rd and 5, the Packers go with 4 wide receivers. Clarence Weathers and Jeff Query have come in. James Campen over the ball and Dillwig in the shotgun. No blitz by the Rams. Handoff, or rather the naked keeper by the quarterback, Dillwig, and he's down at the 37. Quarterback draw more than anything else.
That's exactly what it was, a quarterback draw out of the shotgun. Watch it from the end zone. We're going to see the hole here to his right. He just takes the ball. They cross block. It's a trap type of thing. Boom, they open that hole straight up the middle. They had 6 defensive backs in there, so there was no one that could get to him before the first down.
And the clearing block by Keith Euchre, number 70, right guard, who came over and knocked out one of the linemen. Gain of 17. No score, 11:10 to go, first quarter. Woodside, a slot to the right side. Haddix to the 34. Gain of 4. And Fred Strickland with the tackle, number 53.
Well, the Packers lined up in 2 tight ends. They had Jackie Harris, a good-looking rookie that they like, as a second tight end. And he and Ed West, who's a good blocker, lined up side by side to the right, and they ran right in behind them.
Opening drive of the ball game. After a touchback, the Packers now with a 2nd down and 7 from the Los Angeles 35. Big play in the drive, a 17-yard run by Anthony Dillwig. Blitz look by the Rams. They're coming. 5-step drop and then pulled away by Dillwig. Kevin Green was covering Michael Haddix coming out of the backfield. Tampa Bay has taken an early lead. Vinny Testaverde with a 54-yard touchdown pass. And they lead Detroit 7-zip. Kansas City on top of the Vikings by 7. And again, the Packers will go with 4 wide receivers. There is Blair Keel, who flashes and plays in. He's the 3rd-team quarterback, inactive today. and Don Mikowski standing next to him.
An interesting thing, they let the quarterbacks make up their own signals, which makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. If you make them up, you'll always remember them.
3rd and 7, no score. Here comes Kevin Green. He got the Dillwig, but the pass is complete. And that is close for the first down as Clarence Weathers, a Plan B acquisition, made the catch. And Anthony Dillwig in the face of Kevin Green's pass rush.
I'll tell you, he passed his first test there, Bird, and they wonder how can he handle a rush. Dillwig is not a real agile guy, so they're going to pressure him. Now you see him here. He gets that thing. He sticks in there, throws it to Weathers. Weathers is short of the first down. Here's the Packers' first big decision of the 1990 season. They're going to go for it.
Chris Jackie is the field goal kicker who stays on the bench. Addix and Fullwood in the backfield. That's Jackie Harris, the new tight end. Fullwood. That's close, but I believe, well, let's see where the spot comes.
Well, that's the key, what you just said there, Vern, where the spot comes.
I remember you wrote a book about that once.
Well, you know, the guy comes running in for the side. It's wherever he puts down his foot. Green Bay's pointing that they got it. The Rams are running their offense on the field. If I were a guessing man, I would say it's not a first down.
No, it looks short because the need was the 28-yard line.
The kind of thing coaches, they always yell, go for it on 4th down. Then when they have to measure, boy, is this crowd quiet.
Short. Rams take over. You go for it. I've only got a 2-year contract. So the Green Bay Packers come up short at the 27.5-yard line. Los Angeles has the ball when we come back. 9:22 to go first quarter. Los Angeles defense holds Green Bay on the 4th down and 2. And Jim Everett opens up at quarterback. Had a terrific season in 1989. He will face Matt Brock, Bob Nelson, and Robert Brown in the defensive line. The backers are Stephen, Noble, Holland, and Harris. In the secondary, we'll get to in just a moment. Now, Pete Holohan is in as an H-back on first down. And Robert Del Pino also in. He's going out wide right. Everett will throw. Maybe. Off his back foot and dropped by Holohan, the normally sure-handed H-back, who we figure to be a big part of the offense today. No catch, incomplete pass.
I think that combination of Pete Holohan and Robert Del Pino are going to do most of the receiving today.
Let's set the offense now on 2nd down and 10. Pankey, Newberry, Smith. Here's where the problems come in. Bern Brostek, a rookie. Normally a center starts at right guard. Duval Love will start at tackle for the first time ever. Green, McGee, Ellard, and Anderson in the backfield. Gaston Green in now. And Jim Everett lets it go wide to the right, incomplete. And Tim Harris was right in his face.
I'll tell you the other thing. He was trying to throw to Henry Ellard. Someone knocked Henry Ellard down. First of all, he gets the pressure. Watch. Tim Harris is going to be there all day. They want to pressure Everett right up the middle, right in his face. Now, look what happened to the other side. Here's Henry Ellard, number 80. He runs into his own guy. Watch him here. He's coming on a cross. Boom, right there. He goes down, and that's where Everett was trying to throw.
And right off the bat, Tim Harris went at that right side of the Ram offensive line. Here's Everett back deep. Incomplete, intended for Aaron Cox. All 3 Ram wide receivers hampered by injuries. 3 and out for John Robinson's team.
For the Green Bay Packers, the best shot they had was this shot of Tim Harris getting to Everett, and the shot of Everett going off with grass stains on his back.
Here's a new punter for the Rams, Keith English, acquired midway through preseason. And Jeff Query, second-year man out of Milliken, is back to return the punt. Last year's Ram punter, Dale Hatcher, let go in Plan B, signed by the Packers, where he was just cut last Monday. Lost his job to Don Beckett. A little bit of pressure. Flag is down. at the foot of the punter. So this might come back. And Query is down at the 25. Tiger Green arguing the cause.
Well, you know, you remember the new rule from last year. If it's a 5-yard penalty, then it's not going to be enough for a first down. They'll have to punt again. If it's a 15-yard for roughing, unnecessary roughing, then it will be a first down. Because they were 4th and 10, the Rams were.
Red Cashin is the referee today.
And I don't see how that can be unnecessary roughness. I mean, I think that's just running into the kicker 5 yards. No first down. I think the Rams will have to punt again.
Now the options being explained by Red Cashin to Michael Stewart and Kevin Green.
Running into the kicker, number 23 on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
You see, it was declined because it wouldn't have been a first down. Here's what happens. Now, after the ball leaves, if he touches him, that's running into the kicker. Boom, right there.
.8:55 to go first quarter. Scoreless thus far. Green Bay with the ball for the second time. Tampa Bay and Detroit now tied at 7 in the first quarter. Steve DeBerg has thrown for 2 touchdowns in Kansas City on top of Minnesota. Seattle and Chicago is scoreless thus far. Opening day 1990 National Football League regular season. Bit of a different look this year in the regular season, 16 games in 17 weeks. First and 10 from the 25, Anthony Dilweg. Robert Anthony Hugh Dilweg, to be absolutely precise about it. And that's Perry Kemp with the catch. And the catch no good. Out of bounds.
It is right here. You see when he catches the ball, what the official was right there said that he stepped on the line. Well, you can see it from the end zone. Now he has control, and that step, that right foot right there is on the line, so that makes it out of bounds.
Perry Kemp, kind of the forgotten receiver for the Packers, with all of the accolades for Sterling Sharp on the other side. Second down and 5. This is Jackie Harris in motion. Up the middle of Fullwood. And up on top, it's Frank Stams, the second-year man from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I thought that official called that out of bounds. That should have been 2nd and 10. But I guess he said that he wasn't out of bounds.
I thought he did, too.
Yeah. He said out of bounds. He must have been out of bounds after. But if you watch it here, he catches the ball, and then maybe the foot comes down later. I thought he was calling him for out of bounds, but they gave him a 2nd and 5 there.
I'm right on the same page with you. I thought it was 2nd down and 10. Look up, they have 2nd and 5. Well, right now, they have a 3rd down and 3. Four-man rush. Oh, ball is picked off. Michael Stewart, number 23, had it right in the breadbasket. And Anthony Dilweg, who had all kinds of problems last week in the final game in Kansas City. He was intercepted 4 times and had 4 fumbles in that final preseason game.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, it wasn't all his fault either, because that offensive line had a lot of problems with pass protection and blitz.
Here is Don Bracken and a former Packer, Mickey Sutton, as well as a former Ram, back to return it. Sutton just dropped by Buffalo on Monday and signed by the Rams. And here's Bracken's punt, high and not terribly long. And he gets a Los Angeles roll back to the 43. Well, with 7:11 to go in the first quarter of play, a 24-yard punt draws the first booze of this. 7 minutes, 11 seconds to go first quarter. Vern Lundquist and John Madden, no score. The Rams and the Packers. The only threat thus far by Green Bay. They got as far as the 28-yard line of the Los Angeles Rams, but were stopped on 4th and 2. First and 10, LA now. Second possession for the Rams. Toss right, Gaston Green hit behind the line and dropped. Johnny Holland got him, number 50. the four-year man out of Texas A&M.
Hey, Johnny Holland always leads this team in tackles. It seems like the two inside guys, Brian Noble and Holland, are the guys that are designed to make the tackles on the inside run. And the three linemen, they just take up blockers.
Robert Del Pino checks in. He gets wide to the right side, top of the screen. And Everett, blitz is coming. Good protection. Pass incomplete. Over the head of Henry Ellard.
Yeah, if you look at Henry Ellard there, he's just not running. He's not full speed. In fact, John Robinson said yesterday, I don't know if either one of my wide receivers, either Henry Ellard or Willie Anderson, can run over 5 flat in today's game. And you can see with a pulled muscle, they're just holding back. And I don't know, I wouldn't think that they'll catch more than 2 or 3 passes all day. Look what happened to Ellard here. Harris just gives him a little bump and knocks him off his pattern anyway.
Blitz coming on 3rd and 9. Everett of his back foot, timing pattern. Henry Ellard, as Mark Lee slipped in front of him, and that is a huge gain inside the 30.
And just when you think that a guy really can't do it, he does. This is a timing pattern that the Rams do so well. Ellard, again, isn't going full speed. He makes a good cut there, and you just see Lee just falls down. Ellard knows on man-to-man, you run away from the man, and then you get back inside and up the field.
That's 55 straight games in which Henry Ellard has caught a pass for the Rams. He keeps a personal streak alive, a first down at the 26-yard line. Gain of 30 on the last play. Into the end zone, tipped away. Nice play by the cornerback. Intended for Willie Anderson, and Mark Lee, who just slipped on the last catch, recovers.
But everything is done on timing and rhythm. You see Flipper Anderson running the post there. The timing, he has to throw it between the corner and the safety. And he gets it in there, but that's just good Packer defense. Mark Lee was beaten on the play before, but he made up for it on that one.
2nd down and 10. Holohan back into the lineup now. Henry Ellard, the one wide receiver, split wide to the left. That's Buford McGee in motion. Handoff goes to Robert Del Pino, and he's jammed up for no gain. Brian Noble, number 91.
That's what we were talking about earlier, that the inside run, it's going to be Johnny Holland and Brian Noble, those 2 inside linebackers in a 3-man line. The linemen, not great names, Robert Brown, Bob Nelson, Matt Brock, but they tie up blockers. Then these guys make the play in the run.
5:10 to go, first quarter. 3rd and 10, Los Angeles, scoreless game. 4 wide receiver set this time. Good play. Del Pino, first down inside the 15.
You know, there, Robert Del Pino, every time I see this team play, this guy comes up with big plays. And most of the time it's in catching passes. Here they go 4 wide receivers, and the 5th guy, Del Pino, is another receiver. You put him in. The Packers think, uh-oh, it's a pass. They're going to pass. They go past defense. Boom. They slip the draw to Del Pino.
After a 13-yard run, it's 1st down and 10 from the 13. No score. First Ram threat. Kurt Warner. The Plan B acquisition from Seattle, and he squirts down inside the 10 near the 6-yard line.
But this is what it looks like if you're the defender. You see, they come back. You expect the Rams to throw every down, and then he starts, again, you start running right at that nose tackle. If your blocker takes him to the right, you go left. If your blocker takes him to the left, you go right.
2nd down and 3. Warner and Buford McGee stay in the backfield. It's a toss to Warner with McGee in front. Warner, a great cutback runner at Seattle, proves he can do it in Los Angeles. Touchdown Rams.
We were talking to Kurt Warner last night, and he says, I don't know how much of a chance I get or how many plays I'll get. He said, I just hope when I do get it that I can make something happen with it. And here he is in one of his first carries, making that thing, as you say, stretching it out to the side, and then whack, cutting back against the grain. Kurt Warner has made a living out of doing that up in Seattle.
And Warner gets his first regular season touchdown for the Rams. Mike Lansford on to try the extra point. After a brilliant career in Seattle, Kurt Warner available for Plan B acquisition, signed by the Rams, and makes his presence felt in his first regular season game in a Los Angeles uniform. 7-0, LA's on top. .335 to go, quarter number one. Los Angeles on top of the Packers on a nifty run by Kurt Warner. Now Mike Lansford will kick it off. 3:35 remaining. And Warner scores from 6 yards out. Charles Wilson and Vince Workman back. This is a short kick taken at the 8 by Wilson. But he is knocked off his feet by Paul Butcher.
Yeah, if we watch this run again, Bert, we'll see Warner here stretch out here. Now what that does is that stretches this defense and then gives a cutback in here. It's only a 6-yard run, but after he makes that cutback, he makes a great move. We see it there. See the stretch, then the cutback, and then the move. It's only 6 yards, but there was a lot of things in that one little run.
Kurt Warner, who will continue to make his home in Kirkland, Washington, said he felt like he was lost when he was placed on Plan B by the Seahawks. First down and 10, Green Bay. Barry Kemp in motion, Gilway. Settles for the alternate receiver out of the field. That's Brett Fullwood. He hustles up to the 27. Now for an NFL Today report, let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Well, Vern, at the Silverdome, the Lions have the run and shoot clicking today. Barry Sanders, 13 yards down to the 1-yard line. On the next play, he went over to put the Lions up. They lead Tampa Bay 14-7 in the first quarter. Back to Green Bay, Vern and John.
All right, Greg, Rams lead here 7-0. Barry Sanders may be the best running back in the league right now, huh?
I think so. I saw him last year. I thought he was the best running back in the league last year.
Second down and 5. Fullwood as Kevin Green comes through and makes the tackle. Well, he has made his reputation as a pass rushing specialist, but fine defensive play on the run then.
Well, you know, he's only came in a couple days ago, and as he said, I don't need a lot of practice and a lot of that stuff. All I do is react and instinct. You see him, he goes in there, he grabs everything. He's grabbing the pulling guard, he's grabbing the ball carrier, the ball. This guy just makes things happen. He's like a bowling ball in some glass factory or something.
3rd and 11, 4 wide receiver set for the Green Bay Packers. 7-0, Los Angeles on top. Gilwig, a lot of time. Has 2 blockers in front of Michael Haddix. And a good defensive job by Vince Newsom to make first contact, and that slowed him up. Gain of 8.
James Campen is the new center for the Packers, and he got out there. He had to run all the way out there, and then he missed a block. There's nothing that upsets an offensive lineman more than running a long way and then not making a hit at the end of the long run.
Don Bracken. Mickey Sutton is deep. 1:34 to go. Quarter number 1. 7-0. LA on top. That one's a little better for Bracken, but it's low and returnable. Mickey Sutton won't return it very far. $7-0 on Kurt Warner's 6-yard run. Sunday afternoon in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 70th year of football at Lambeau Field, this historic place, and they do know how to enjoy themselves.
Well, they know how inside and outside. I mean, they get out there. They got these things they cook, they call brats or something. And it's great. I mean, this is a home of brat. These things aren't big old hot dogs or something. They're brats.
That was about 9:15 this morning. They gather early and stay late for the
Oh,
tailgating.
yeah. I mean, they eat, drink, enjoy. It's a big party here.
Everett, ball is tipped. Bob Nelson got a hand on it. Is it a fumble? I think they're going to rule that it was a fumble, not a forward pass.
Well, the referee's not sure. He's just putting his hand up, 2 fingers. That's Red Cashin. Now he's saying it's his timeout. Now, the thing is the ball going forward? If the ball is going forward, then it's a pass. The ball never did come forward. That's a fumble. So now did the Packers recover it?
No, they did not. The Rams did recover, but it's a loss all the way back to the, let's see, it'll be 24 needed for the first down.
So they're going to review this one, but I think they ruled it right. That was not a forward pass. It was a fumble. Of course, if the Packers recovered, it would be their ball. This is a way to pressure Jim Everett, though. When he goes to step up, you have to have coverage on him and then have someone in his face or on his arm as he throws it. That's for any quarterback. Now, the question is, the ball is not going forward. So here, this is a fumble. See, right now it goes out. So now you have to look and see who got the ball.
Rams recovered the ball. It's a question of a forward pass or a fumble.
It's a fumble.
Bob Nelson is the man who got a hand up. He and Tim Harris coming from the right side of the Los Angeles Rams, and that's the weak part today because you've got Duval Love. Here's Red Cashin. Dave Hawk, by the way, is the replay official.
Following review, the play stands 7 down.
Loss of 14. Officially make it 13 and call it 2nd down and 23.
They're the
25-second clock.
The other way everyone tries to defend Jim Everett is bump his receivers so he can't throw in rhythm when he wants to, and then put pressure in his face. Those are the 2 key things to try to do to the Rams and Jim Everett.
Olivia Infante says the one goal defensively is disrupt the rhythm. Up the middle, Gaston Green. It'll be 3rd and 23. Tim Harris, number 97, is there.
And that's the thing John Robinson said. He said, we have to get Tim Harris blocked. They're moving Harris all over the field. Watch him here. He's coming right up the middle here. He is unblocked. Luckily, that wasn't a pass because he would have gotten a sack on Everett.
John Robinson said yesterday that the Rams' number 1 goal is not let Tim Harris become NFL Defensive Player of the Week.
And Tim Harris is off to a pretty good start for being that.
3rd and 25. Everett. Oh, Henry Ellard with a nifty move back. Ran an acute pattern of sorts, went out and then came back. Looked like Fred Biletnikoff.
Hey, he did, and Jim Everett was lucky to get it off. He almost ran into his own guy as he was throwing it. Of course, they had 3rd and a half a mile to go, so it's not going to be a first down anyway.
4th down coming up for the Los Angeles Rams. That's the end of the first quarter with our score, Los Angeles 7 and the Green Bay Packers nothing at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. Owens Corning Fiberglass, we can help you get a foothold on your energy bills. And by Bud Light, everything else is just a light.
First game of the 1990 season. We begin quarter number 2. The Green Bay Packers trailing the Los Angeles Rams. Average plays per quarter last year, 39. Today, with the new rules designed to conserve time in operation, 32 plays in quarter number 1. Here is Jeff Query on the receiving end of a Keith English punt. Boy, he barely nabbed that, and then Query with great speed tries to get to the outside. Pretty nifty return. Doubleheader for you next Sunday on CBS, 12:30 Eastern Time, the NFL Today. Dan Fouts and I will be here in Green Bay for Chicago at Green Bay. Some of you will see Phoenix at Philadelphia. the Rams at Tampa Bay or Atlanta at Detroit. And then in game 2, John will be out in San Francisco, joined by Pat Summerall. Others will see the Giants at Dallas, and some of you will see New Orleans at Minnesota. That's next Sunday, doubleheader. And it all starts with the NFL today on CBS at 12:30 Eastern Time. Kind of a cockeye set now, and Perry Kemp goes in motion right. Went forward to the 46-yard line.
You see what happened? The Packers have changed their guards now, and Billy Yard started. Rich Moran is in there now, and Ron Holstrom. And they're kind of trying both of these guys. Moran and Holstrom held out, and they came in late. So Lindy Infante is starting the other guys, Ard and Euchre, but he wants to give these guys a chance to win their jobs back.
It's kind of a change from last year's starting lineup. Blair Bush has been replaced by James Campen at center. The tackles Tony Mandarich at right tackle, getting his first chance to start as a regular second-year man. Here's Dilweg back, Strickland coming at him, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Ed West.
Let's watch the protection here. There's Moran, who I was talking about. He does a good job. It gets his guy, comes off in the other. The tackle has to get down to get that second guy in, and that's where the pressure comes from.
Rich Moran went to high school with your son Mike, right?
Yeah, right. He's a local guy from Pleasanton, California, and he's been a good player. I mean, he's a good player. He held out and kind of got caught up in this thing now, and he's determined to win that starting job back.
Dilweg 6 of 9 in the early going. Done, 5-man rush. That pass delivered short of the first down to Perry Kemp. He's across the 50 to the 49, but Mickey Sutton makes sure that there is no first down gain.
I'll tell you who else made sure was Mike Wilcher. He came straight up the middle. He was untouched, and he popped Anthony Dilweg just as he threw that one. Woo!
Chicago out on top 10-0. Mark Griffin has thrown 2 touchdowns as the Redskins lead Phoenix. Nice high punt. Flag is down. Sutton lets it bounce. And it will be down at the 2-yard line if the play stands.
Now they love Bracken Vern. The last time he played a short one, they booed him. Now they love him.
This might be called back.
I would think where the penalty flag is, it's not for leaving too soon. I would think it would be something against the Rams.
It is.
Because it's down here towards the end of the return. If it were up where they punted it from, it's usually against the punting.
Holding after the ball was kicked. Number 26 of the receivers. It'll be half the distance to the goal. First down.
Anthony Newman is guilty of the hold. The ball will be placed at the 1. The Rams will have it, but they're 99 yards away. We'll be back in just a moment. Kurt Warner's 6-yard touchdown run has given the Rams a 7-0 lead. Green Bay's defense now on the field, and they've got the Rams back up at the 1. I think this is the time we might pay attention to Tim Harris.
I think this is where the Packers need a big play, or the Rams need a big play. When you're down in the 1-yard line, knowing Ernie Zampese, who is calling the plays for the Rams, I don't think he'll be conservative. And I think that we could see a pass coming out here. I think I could see the Rams going for a big play. I don't see them being conservative down here.
Well, they have a 1st and 10 at the 1. And they lead it by a 7-0 score.
They might be conservative on 1 play or 2 plays, but in some play here, I know Ernie Zampese, he wants to break it out of there at one time.
And in that end of the field, Brian Noble, there's Tim Harris. By the way, he's got brand new gloves on. And if he gets a sack, you'll see the 6-shooters come out. 1st and 10. Kurt Warner stopped at the 2.
Yeah, this is a tough situation down here. If you can stop him down here, now the punter doesn't have his normal 15 yards. And if you can stop him here, it's a great place to go for a punt block.
Sellout crowd again on hand. Lambeau Field, Green Bay. Packers 10-6 a year ago when they won 4 games by 1 point. Second down and 9. Del Pino in motion. Here's Everett to throw from the end zone. A lot of time. Into the flat for Pat Carter, who makes his first catch as a Los Angeles Ram. But he is stuffed after a gain of 1.
And he was about the 3rd receiver that Jim Everett wanted to go to. The Packers are doing a great job of throwing Everett's rhythm off. They're bumping the receivers. There's no one open. Pat Carter was Jim Everett's 3rd choice on that play.
Carter, the tight end, playing in place of Damone Johnson, who remains a holdout, did not catch a pass all of last season. Now 3rd and 8. Four-man rush, now 5. Everett, left side, tip. Mark Murphy has it.
Packer defense needed a big play coming out of there. Watch 37. He reads the pattern all the way, gets a jump on it, makes a heck of a play, tips it up in the air, and then catches it. Lindy and Fonnie said, you know, this guy is a solid player. He's a heck of a player. He said, there may be better ones in the league than Mark Murphy. He said, but I'll tell you, no one plays harder.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. After the interception by Mark Murphy. Jackie Harris lines up split out wide to the right. Normally a tight end. They're going to use him some at flanker today. Now he comes in motion. Play fake. Dilweg. Touchdown. Ed West. Blair Keel and Don Mikowski applaud the play.
Hey, that's a great time to go for the play fake when you're on the goal line with first down. You fake the run, and this is the guy that made it all possible, Mark Murphy. He put him in that position. Watch this as a play fake. You fake the run in there hard. Then you come out on a bootleg. Ed West goes like he's going to block. He's a tight end. Then he just works his way out to the flat.
Don Bracken will try and tie it up. Chris Jackie, beg your pardon. Bracken will hold.
Of the offense for spiking the ball. Touchdown count. He's 5 yards on the kickoff.
Picky, picky, picky.
Well, that's the thing. They don't want him to celebrate. That is picky. You know, where'd the fun go? Let him go already.
Chris Jackie out of Don Bracken's hold. Well, it was West who caught the touchdown. Lindy and Potty's team has tied it up. 11:23 to go, first half. We're notched at 7. 7-7 ball game now. Mark Murphy's pass interception at the 4 set up a touchdown toss. Anthony Dilweg to Ed West, and Anthony Dilweg with an ice pack on his hand. Grandfather Lavi Dilweg, an all-pro for the Packers in 1927 through 1934. That's a short kick by Jackie and taken by Robert Del Pino, who fights his way out near the 34-yard line.
You know, yesterday when we were talking to Anthony Dilweg, he had a bad finger on his passing hand. His right hand was a little finger on his right hand. So I don't think this ice pack is something that he just did on the last play. I think it was a little injury he had to his hand coming into this game.
Anthony Dilweg's parents are here. They live in the Washington, D.C. area. Wife Jamie in the stands as they watch Anthony Dilweg in his first start. And he has just thrown his first touchdown pass for the Packers. Quick drop, Everett. Del Pino at the other end, and Murphy rides him out of bounds, but not before he picks up a first down.
Hey, you one thing the Packers have done a good job of knocking his rhythm off and also hurry him. Look, they've hurried him 3 times. They've knocked him down twice. They've had a batted ball and an interception. So the Packers came into this game with a defensive game plan to go after Jim Everett, put the pressure on him, and they have done a heck of a job of it thus far.
First down and 10. There's Tim Harris lined up over Irv Pankey. They fake the toss and hand it off to Buford McGee, number 24. And he gets it out near the 47-yard line. Chicago continues to lead Seattle.
You know, Washington, of all the teams I saw in the preseason, I thought the Redskins were the best team. I don't know how much preseason means or what that means, but of the ones that I saw, they looked like the best team.
You liked them on defense, didn't you?
I know. They were, I think they're underrated on defense, and they got a lot of firepower on offense.
Everett back. Almost picked off by Brian Noble. Oh, boy, was that close. Now for another NFL update. Let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
Well, Vern, with Chris Chandler waiting in the wings, Vinny Testaverde isn't going to give him a chance. His 3rd touchdown pass of the day, this one to Gary Anderson out of the backfield, and the Bucs are leading the Lions 21-14 in the 2nd quarter. Vern?
All right, Greg, will this be the year of the emergence of Vinny Testaverde? 7-7 ball game here, 10:15 to go, first half. Jim Everett has been harassed. Not much pressure this time, but Everett, good downfield coverage. Now he backs up and lets it go, and it's incomplete. Flag is down as well.
I think they're going to call an illegal offensive lineman downfield on that. Everett took so much time. That was great coverage.
Tiger Green and Mark Murphy, Lee, Jerry Holmes. Here's Red Cashin.
"66 of the receivers ineligible downfield. That penalty is refused. It'll be 4th down."
I tell you, if you look at that coverage, just watch it out here. This is where he was trying to go, but they have Flipper Anderson. He's covered like a blanket out there, and they had everyone else covered the same way. So that's how you disrupt his rhythm.
He steps back to punt. The penalty was on Tom Newberry. Jeff Query at the 10. That's a moon. Oh, what an open field pop that was. Buford McGee on special teams makes the tackle. 24 yards nevertheless on the return after a 43-yard punt. Packers have it back. We're tied at 7. Rams went on top first, 7-0 on a 6-yard Kurt Warner run. That came with 3:35 to go in the first quarter. Ed West caught Anthony Dilwig's first NFL touchdown pass to tie it up at 7-7. Tim Harris, the All-Pro, the Pro Bowl member from a year ago, has supplied all kinds of defensive pressure. Now first down and 10 at the 34. 7-7 game. Just under 10 minutes to go. There's Dilwig, straight drop back. Settles for the short receiver, and Fullwood drops it.
You know, one thing, they're starting off with a controlled passing game for Anthony Dilwig. You look, he was 8 for 12. They're all under 10 yards. He hasn't thrown a pass yet in any other of those ranges. And I think that's planned. I think, one, that's kind of the way the Packers do it. But more than that, you have a young quarterback starting an opening game with a lot of pressure, and you don't want to give him a lot of things that can bring disaster.
Second down and 10. 2 receivers split left, including Sterling Sharp. Kemp play fake. Screen pass. Woodside makes the grab, but then good defensive pressure from the Rams knocks him down at the 35.
You gotta see that. You want this talk, right?
All the talk after the play. You ever notice that?
Did you see that?
See that?
Did you see that?
I did that. I didn't do anything.
Hey. Sellout crowd, the 70th year of football at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Red Cashin is our referee. And a discussion going on now with Kevin Green of the Rams.
number 84 on the offense. It's still second down.
That illegal block is on Sterling Sharp.
Well, what they did is they had Sharp out. Remember, as a wide receiver, they threw the ball out to Woodside on a screen pass, so Sharp became the blocker on the screen pass. That's why he was called for an illegal block. I don't know that I would use Sterling Sharp that way. I think Sterling Sharp's one of the best wide receivers in the league. But watch 84 out there. You see, they say that's an illegal block in the back.
That makes it a second down and 19 after the penalty. Four wide receiver set. Four-man rush. Kevin Green coming from the right, almost gets there. And Michael Haddix is cut down by Anthony Newman after he makes the grab. It'll be third down.
You know, somewhere, I know you want to be conservative, but somewhere Dillwig is going to have to, even if he throws an incomplete one, he's going to have to throw one over 10 yards just to loosen this defense and stretch him up again. Because am I watching here, the Rams defense is getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and those passes that came easier are going to be more difficult.
Well, we'll see what he's got in mind on third down and 17. 7-7 ball game with 8:39 to go, first half. Shotgun, four wide receivers. Green comes at Ken Rutgers. Dillwig in a rollout. Comes back in the middle. Caught by Perry Kemp. And that, let's see what the spot is. That's close for the first down.
I think he had it. I don't know if he lost it after he caught it, but when he caught the ball, he was beyond the first down marker. Heck of a throw by Dillwig. That was nice by Kemp getting open, finding that open area just enough for the first down. I think if we can see it here, number 81 is Perry Kemp. Now he's going to catch the ball here. When he catches it right there, he has a first down. I think they gave it to him anyway.
They did indeed. They have moved the chains, so on third and 17, officially an 18-yard gain.
That was a heady play by Kemp, knowing how far you had to go and just getting beyond that, because a lot of guys will leave that one short on you.
Perry Kemp from California of Pennsylvania.
There was Dillwig's pass over 10 yards, too. Nice
call. Anthony Dillwig, first down and 10 for the Packers. 7-7 game, 7:40 to go, first down. Forward. Nice tackle. Made by Doug Reed, who was a holdout and just signed it, said, I knew they needed a two-gapper.
Well, that's the thing. He said he was watching the Rams play, and he said they didn't have anyone playing the two-gap. And Doug Reed plays the two-gap well. Here's Doug Reed here. Your two-gap is you take a guy on and you have the gap outside and the gap inside. But you play square and then play off to either side. Now watch him here. Hits into the boat, hits that gap in there, and then just keeps rolling and stuff till you find some ball carrier.
Second down, 11 after Reed's tackle. Here comes the blitz. Dillwig, good downfield coverage, has to freelance. He does, and West, it's a foot race. Out of bounds, back at the 7-yard line. Bobby Humphrey managed to save the touchdown, but it's first and goal.
Okay, and did he have great pass protection? And is Dillwig a competitor? And West gets open, but watch this pass protection. They give him time. They pick up the blitz. Boom, they're solid there. They're solid. There's no one open. Look at the time they give him. The guy has all day. He's waving guys. You go here. And then he finds Ed West coming across the field. Great pass protection by the Packers, or lack of pass rush by the Rams.
Ed West, Bobby Humphrey in a foot race down the sideline, and Humphrey did manage to knock him out of bounds. It's first and goal from the 7. That one gets stuffed. Mike Wilcher makes the tackle. Brent Fullwood.
This Green Bay Packer team is a well-coached team. I don't know that they have the best talent in the league, but the way Lindy Infante and his staff has a game plan and they do things, they do it as well as anyone.
Well, and Fonte, longtime offensive coordinator, 50 years of age, was a head coach in the USFL. And I know those who know football really like his schemes.
Wouldn't be surprised if they called it play pass here. One of those deals they got the touchdown on earlier.
Not straight drop back this time. Dilweg has it dropped at the 2. Keith Woodside, the intended receiver.
See, if you don't go play pass on first or second down, now you get to third down. Now you can't do it. He goes straight back here. Again, he has good pass protection. He has good lanes. He threw it in there. It was just dropped. But now you bring up, when you're 3rd and 7 on the 7-yard line, this is a long yardage situation. If you're going to pass, you probably even get in shotgun down in this situation.
Well, you saw Blair Keel, the inactive quarterback, signal the play in to Anthony Dilweg. 5:28 to go. They tried the quarterback draw again, and Dilweg this time can't make it work. He gained 17 on that play in the first quarter. But George Bethune, number 57.
The Rams defense, you talk about smart guys, the Rams defense is always a bend but don't break, that type of deal. Very smart. You can fool them once. You got that quarterback drawing them once out of the shotgun. The next time they're all yelling, watch for the draw, and that's what they did.
So John Robinson's team holds on 3 plays. Now Chris Jackie, out of the University of Texas, El Paso, hometown of Richardson, Texas, is on to try his first field goal here. Out of Don Brockman's hole, he's got it. And the Packers have gone on top. 5:08 to go. The big pass play. Dilweg to Ed West sets up a field goal that has given Green Bay a 3-point edge. Coming up next, youth will be served on CBS. 19-year-old Pete Sampras against 20-year-old Andre Agassi for the men's U.S. Open final. That's at 4 o'clock later today. Sampras with that 4-set victory over John McEnroe yesterday, and Agassi with a 4-set defeat of Boris Becker. First All-American final since 1979, and that's next on CBS. Jackie will kick in deep. Barry, whoops, he's a rookie. And he got a little excited.
Boy, is that a lonely feeling, though, when you get that ball in the end zone and you think, boy, I'm safe. Then you take a step out and you say, whoa, now I got to go. And you don't know if you're going to have anyone around you.
Whoops. Here's Tony Bennett, the #1 draft choice, one up by the Packers. Watch him on special teams.
Of course, if you're a #1 draft choice and a linebacker and you're not the starter, you better be pretty good at doing this. Hey, he's a big guy, isn't he, Tony Bennett?
Helps make the tackle on Latin Berry. Out of the University of Oregon, 1st and 10 Rams at the 16. Just under 5 minutes to go. Holahan in motion. Warner. Nice job by Bob Nelson, number 79.
That's Bob Nelson, the nose tackle. You can't allow the nose tackle to get penetration. He did.
9 plays, 57 yards, and it took 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Jackie got the field goal. Robert Del Pino, who is so important to the Rams offense, getting some medical attention on the sideline. 2nd down. Flag is down, so's Everett. Tim Harris with the brand new gloves.
That flag's going to be against the Rams. Flipper Anderson came across in motion, and he turned upfield before the ball was snapped. So they'll keep that sack.
Motion.
That's Tim Harris here. He's coming from the left side. He just comes on block. Everett's looking. There's nothing he can do.
19.5 sacks a year ago. That's his first this season. Tim donates $500 to a cancer cause here in Wisconsin for every sack that he gets during the season. Left side on 3rd and 17. Caught, big play. Flipper Anderson, number 83, all the way out to the 43-yard line.
And that's the thing, you know, Ernie Zampese's going to do. He gets backed up. He doesn't want to stay backed up. He's looking for that play coming out of there. He doesn't stay conservative. He tried it the first time. They couldn't get out of there. Boom, he hits that quick post to Flipper Anderson. A great timing rhythm pass between Anderson and Everett.
That's a gain of 35 yards as they picked on the rookie Leroy Butler, number 36. 26-yard per catch average last year and had that huge game against New Orleans. Here's Kurt Warner. And now the Rams start to surge. That's a gain of 9.
John Robinson was saying that when Kurt Warner came, he would wait for things to happen. And even Kurt said that's the way he did it at Seattle. You would run and wait. And the way John Robinson teaches his running backs is just go, boom, just go right at the hole. And if it's there, you're going to break through. If it's not, you tee it up and do it again. So he said in the last week or so, Kurt has finally learned to do that.
Warner had a rather ineffective preseason. Here's the toss to Warner coming right. Buford McGee with the tackle. This time, Mark Lee, number 22, was the first man there. And Warner may have pulled a hamstring. No, somebody with a
that's
hamstring.
Duval Love. It's either a hamstring or a cramp. And he's the guy that is the normal right guard who's playing right tackle because Jackie Slater has a dislocated toe and is out. Robert Cox, Slater's backup, has broken ribs. They're already starting a rookie at right guard. So whatever it is, it went quick.
Duval Love getting his first start today because of injury at tackle. And John Robinson is among those out on the field.
You know, it's one of those things that we were talking about yesterday with John, is they come in and they have such a good team and they know it, and then the injuries just get, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, if you say don't practice, then you can't get ready. You got to play the guys, and it's just something that's really haunting them. And as he said, it's his job to get the team through it. Thank goodness for a bye in that 4th week of the season.
Well, it's interesting because under the new schedule this year, 16 games in 17 weeks, Duval Love up and being helped off.
Robert Cox is going to take his place, but I was just saying that I talked to Cox yesterday, and he said he didn't think he could play. He has broken ribs. But after you have Slater go down and then you have Love go down, you get down to these numbers, you just have to go in there and play.
So Cox will come on with those broken ribs. John was mentioning the bye. Here's Cox out of UCLA. The bye for the NFC West teams will come in week 4. And Robinson said when the schedule came out, he didn't like that. Now he just thinks it's terrific.
All he has to do is get through 3 games and then heal up.
3rd and 1. Warner. Nice run. He's down to the 40-yard line before Mark Murphy makes the tackle.
I'll tell you, this is amazing. Cox comes in there with broken ribs. Watch him here. Does he make a block? I'll tell you, this is the thing. This is a hole that they're going to go. Let's just watch it here in the clicker. You see, he hits into his guy, gets him moving, then turns him out right there, turns him out, and that's the thing that makes the hole. And then, boom, he comes right through and gets a first down.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. 10-7, Green Bay on top. Rams are threatening. Don't forget, next Saturday, the season premiere of college football on CBS, starting at 2 o'clock Eastern with a doubleheader. The first game of the day, Pittsburgh takes on the Oklahoma Sooners. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern, the Michigan Wolverines will face the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. That's next Saturday, season premiere of college football on CBS. How about Brigham Young University?
Oh, that a big win up there.
Whoa.
Provo, they're still celebrating.
Everett, man open deep, caught, touchdown, Willie Anderson. Just like that.
Hey, Flipper Anderson is one of those guys that had so much speed that even when he's bothered by pulls and so on and really can't sprint it and go all out, he still has the speed to beat his guy. That's the second one. 2 big plays on this drive. Remember the post he caught? Now this is the same type of pattern. Perfect pattern, but I'll tell you, that was some throw by Jim Everett.
He split Tiger Green and Jerry Holmes. And Flipper Anderson with the catch has put the Rams back on top. Mike Lansford with the extra point. 14-10.
Hey, that was that man's drive there, Flipper Anderson. Remember, the Rams started way down on the other end of the field. They hit Flipper with a post, and then they come back with this play. Watch it from here. It's a little play fake. Everett looks to the left, then to the middle to hold the free safety so that safety can't get over there, and then puts it right over Flipper Anderson's right shoulder. You see how Everett looked to the middle? He looked to the middle to hold the safety so that he couldn't get over there, and that step that he held him was a step that Anderson beat him on.
75 of the 84 yards of the drive accountable by that man, Flipper Anderson. Catches of 35 and then the touchdown of 40 yards. And the Rams are on top 14-10.
That's why this team is so explosive. You know, they have Flipper Anderson on one side, Henry Ellard on the other side, 2 of the top receivers in the league. Then Aaron Cox, you know, as a third wide receiver. This guy throwing the ball, a good offensive line. And when they're healthy, I mean, they really have some bullets in their guns.
Lansford will kick off now. The Packers trailing by 4. Report from the Rams bench on Duval Love. Not a hamstring, not a knee, but a left ankle, as you saw. Sprained that ankle, has been taken into the locker room for x-rays. Charles Wilson to the 39-yard line. Tackle made by number 89, Derek Faison. Coming up at halftime, Greg Gumbel, Terry Bradshaw. Scores and highlights. Had a chance to watch the debut today of the NFL Today. Greg and Terry and Leslie Visser. Pat O'Brien out in New Mexico.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have a lot to talk about. I mean, just looking at these scores coming across this new season, and you look at that score there, it looked like high-scoring games for halftime.
10-0 Chicago up at halftime. 4 wide receiver set now by the Packers. Anthony Dilweg. Blitz coming. Dilweg, that's it, going it. Michael Haddix out of bounds to stop the clock.
There's a guy that's a heady player, Michael Haddix. He's what Lindy Infante calls his flush back. When they use 4 wide receivers or a passing formation, that's called flush. Then the back that goes in with them is called the flush back.
I'm really glad you explained that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how'd you like to be the mother of the flush back? What's your kid doing? Well, he's up there in Green Bay playing flush. Flush back.
Dilweg deep. Jeff Perry. Caught. Touchdown. Does have great speed.
Great speed, and he got on Bobby Humphrey. Bobby Humphrey's 48. He just outruns him. Dilweg again throws the ball just like Everett did, right over his right shoulder. And as you say, Jeff Query has great speed. And this is a shootout.
Tim Harris came dressed appropriately.
Watch, here's Query here. Here's Humphrey. He just takes him up the field. He gets a step up in here and then just, boom, takes it into the end zone. See, he comes off the line there. Then he goes up. He was the inside guy. Then he gets the step right there. Boy, he had about 3 steps. There's a happy guy.
Well, it's funny. Anthony Dilweg was a history and drama major at Duke University. We asked him yesterday how he might put his drama major to work, and he said, I'm doing it right now. I'm acting like a quarterback.
Then this has to be something. You remember, this is his grandfather, Laffy Dilweg. He was with the Packers in 1927 to 34, and he was on the Packers' first championship team ever.
Laffy Dilweg, Anthony's grandfather, died when Anthony Dilweg was only 3 years old. His father, Bob, was born back in the 30s on a day when Laffy Dilweg scored a touchdown. Bobble picked up. Del Pino to the 19-yard line. Don't forget, coming up after the ball game today, the men's final at the U.S. Open. First time since '79 that we've had two Americans in the final. Pete Sampras, the 19-year-old, against 20-year-old Andre Agassi. That's later today, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Greg and Terry with scores and highlights. Just a minute 30 from now. 1st and 10 from the 20. Rams trailing again, 17-14. Into the flat, Buford McGee. Doug Smith leads the way, and Ryan Noble, number 91, makes the tackle.
You see number 66, Tom Newberry, out there. He's from Wisconsin. He has a whole group of people here. He lives close to this area. He has like 200 people coming to watch him play today. He's one fired up Ram player here. But he got out in that screen. He got a heck of a block.
Tom Newberry from Wisconsin lacrosse.
One of the best guards in the National Football League.
2nd down and 7. Holohan back in again. Everett finds Holohan. And Jerry Holmes and Mark Murphy make the tackle. Enough for the first down. Let's see. Looks like 2nd down. 3rd down. 3rd and 1. McGee. That's the first down.
Now they get the first down. Now they can use their timeouts and go to work. I think that was the thing. They didn't make the first down in the play before, so they had to get the play, get the first down. Now take your timeout. And knowing the Rams, they're going to take some shots here.
Timeout comes with 55 seconds to go first half.
You know, with 55 seconds and the Rams have 2 timeouts left, that is plenty of time with an offense like this. There's Ernie Zampese. He's usually up in the press box. This guy right here is Ernie Zampese. He's usually in the press box, but just before half, they come down to the field. So he calls them down, and then he has to get in with that 12-minute halftime now. He has to rush in. So that's why Ernie's down in the field. And up there, that's Rich Shermer's son there. He's not even on the staff. He's just manning the booth. There's no one left there.
Making sure the coffee's warm when they get back.
The hot dogs have mustard on it.
And the soft drinks are cold. Everett. Holohan. That's a gain of 6. The clock continues to run. Mark Murphy with the tackle. 2nd down and 4. Everett, man open, wide open. Oh, boy, Willie Anderson. And there was a blown assignment of some sort.
I'll tell you, they lost the zone. They dropped their zone on that one. Flipper Anderson was so wide open, he couldn't believe it. There was no one in there. He's over here and left. You see the zone rotates there, but there's no one in there behind. Watch this, we'll see. Here's Flipper Anderson. They rotate the zone here. This safety doesn't get over here. So he comes here, he just doesn't bump him, and Flipper Anderson runs right into that hole there. Watch here, you see the corner rotate, but the safety doesn't go over. He bites there. Flipper Anderson is wide open on that sideline.
Flipper Anderson now, after that 27-yard grab, has 3 for 101 yards.
Yeah, that's the thing about Flipper. When he catches them, he makes a lot of yards on them.
Well, remember that game against New Orleans, 336 yards on 15 catches. Week 12 last year. Everett back. Short pass, caught by Buford McGee, dragged down from behind by Burnell Dent, number 56, after a gain of 7.
I think that was a bad decision there. I think you have to get the ball either to the sideline or in the end zone.
Everett. That will stop the clock with 2 seconds left. And Mike Lansford will come on.
Yeah, you see, if he hadn't completed that passer before, he would have had a little more time there to get another play in right here. Because with an incomplete pass, they still have 1 timeout left that they didn't use.
Lansford for the tie from 41 yards away. Holohan will hold. Hit the crossbar. So the Green Bay Packers will lead at the half. Ryan Noble, Jackie Harris, and here comes Anthony Dilweg.
Watch this one, Vern. He had the place where it was supposed to be. It's kind of right in the middle, and right there he's going to get a doink and go back the other way.
And with the doink, that's the end of the first half with the score 17-14. Green Bay over Los Angeles.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. McDonald's, you know the one. It's McDonald's for food, cokes, and fun. And by the Upjohn Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. AT&T, the right choice. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Packers back on the turf at Lambeau Field. So are the Los Angeles Rams. 17-14. Green Bay leads it at halftime. Mike Lansford's 42-yard field goal hit the crossbar and bounced back. A most impressive first half, I think, John, for Anthony Dilweg.
Well, you know, I think they had a good plan for him. I mean, they came in there and they didn't say you have to do this or you have to do that, but they kept all those passes under 10 yards. Then when he got a little comfortable, boom, he hit a couple big ones.
Now, you did not expect Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard to play a big part in the game.
That was the other surprise. I didn't think Dilweg would be as comfortable as he is on that side, and I didn't think that Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard were ready to be a big part of that. Flipper caught three big ones. Henry Ellard caught 2. So between them both in the first half, they caught 5 passes. I didn't think they would catch 5 passes in the whole game.
You remarked to me just as they were leaving the field, this is the kind of game you hope for at the beginning of the season. We've got a good one.
Well, you do. I mean, there's something about football. I mean, you're starting out in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I just saw Fuzzy Thurston outside the old Green Bay Packer, and you know, you got grass field down there and 2 teams going at it, mixing things up, and I think this is a heck of a start to a season.
Well, they have instituted new rules in order to try and cut down the time of games, and it has affected the number of plays run in each game in preseason. How about today? Well, the average number of plays in a half, and this is counting kickoffs and punts, 78. In the first half today, we had 68, so they have lost 10 plays per half, at least in this game. Packers kickoff. Latin Berry drops to one knee. And Jim Everett and the Los Angeles Rams will take over at their own 20-yard line. Modest numbers for Jim Everett, but the master of the big play, particularly the Flipper Anderson.
Now, as long as he has Flipper Anderson and Henry Ellard out there, Jim Everett is going to do some damage to you. I think they got their pass protection settled down, too. That could be the biggest thing, because in the first quarter, the Packers were really getting there. In the second quarter, the Rams kind of got them under control, their pass rush.
Robert Cox continues to go with broken ribs at right tackle. Here's a handoff up the middle to Gaston Green. And Brian Noble makes the tackle on him.
This is going to be one of the changes for John Robinson. You see Gaston Green there, and he has Gaston Green, he has Kurt Warner. Then he also has Cleveland Gary, who hurt his back in preseason and really hasn't played. And John said he's changing this year from one tailback that gets the ball every down to two guys. Today it's Kurt Warner and Gaston Green, and it'll be 2 out of those 3 when Cleveland Gary gets okay.
2nd down and 5. McGee in motion. Gaston Green. #1 draft choice in '88, and a bit of a disappointment his first 2 years.
Well, he was dancing too much. You know, he wasn't in this league. You got to get in there and you got to hit those holes, and that's Brian Noble. Talking about Brian Noble, the guy who's kind of the leader of this defense and who makes all those tackles on the inside runs.
Noble face down on the grass at the 28. And time has been called with 14:06 to go, 3rd quarter, just underway in the 2nd half. And the Packers. 14:06 to go, 3rd quarter. Brian Noble on the bench. Burnell Dent, number 56, has taken his spot. 28-14 now. Reggie Cobb scored for the Buccaneers. Kansas City back on top of Minnesota, and Chicago continues to lead Seattle. Mark Griffin's 2 touchdowns have held up in that game.
Noble got caught in the bottom of the pile there. You see him over there, and you don't know exactly what happened to you, but you just kind of keep checking your parts. You know what I mean? Like he checks the head, he checks the neck, checks both arms, shoulders, joints. You kind of check your parts. You see, okay, all my parts are here. They're all okay. Then you go back in.
I do that almost every morning.
When you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep, all here, let's go. Start of another day.
3rd and 1. Nice second effort by Buford McGee, and that's enough to move the chain. 1st down and 10.
As you say, if Buford McGee doesn't make that second effort, I don't think he had a 1st down. Watch him. He's going to hit in there. Number 24, he's going to hit right there. He doesn't have a 1st down now. Now he keeps moving those legs and just moves a little to his left to find the soft spot for the 1st down.
Rams trail by 3, 17-14. First half, they were up by 7, fell behind 10-7, went up 14-10. Here's Everett with a waggle play. And nobody open downfield. Matt Brock forces him inside, and Jim Everett a little disgusted after he's tackled.
Well, that's the thing, because that wasn't timing. He had plenty of time, and it was just that he didn't have anyone open. That was one of those things that when you sack a quarterback, and you call it a coverage sack. In other words, it wasn't a big pass rush, but you got a sack because you had good coverage.
Holohan back in, Ellard Anderson and Pat Carter as well. Split's coming. Nice catch by Carter as Pat Carter makes his 2nd grab of the afternoon, a gain of 4. Good tackle by Mark Murphy.
Yeah, again, good defense, because you say it's a completed pass for about a yard. And those are the things that get you in a punting situation real quick if you have too many of them.
Now the situational substitution by the Green Bay Packers. And we'll keep our eye on Tim Harris. He's over here on the left side where he has called a defense they called Tim Rover. He picks his spot. And here he comes battling with Robert Cox. The catch is made, and Holohan drops it. Green Bay ball. Completed catch, fumble, recovery Green Bay. With an injury to boot. And that appears to be Tim Harris.
He was the guy who was putting the pressure on Jim Everett. We saw him battling against Rob Cox here. And he goes down, but this is a big play for the Packers. Watch this. Holohan is a guy who has great hands, always holds the ball. He had the ball, then it was stripped out. Johnny Holland came in and just stripped the ball out after he had caught it. Let's see what happened to Tim Harris here. Number 72 is Rob Cox. He's blocking him. He gets his hands on him, keeps it away, good protection. And then it must have been something when he hit the ground. That doesn't look like much there, unless he twisted his ankle as he hit the ground. You know, I don't know that Houlihan ever had that ball, though, because to catch the ball, you have to catch the ball with both hands, come down with both feet.
Take a look again.
I don't know that he ever got control. You see, he's there. Now, do both feet hit the ground? One foot, the other foot? I guess they do before that ball comes out.
Yeah, I believe so. Johnny Holland with the hit. And they may be reviewing it. Yes, they are. They're looking at it right now.
Well, that's the thing they have to look. Is it a catch and a fumble, or is it an incomplete pass?
It was reviewed and quickly dispatched as a correct call. Thank you. They do have a 2-minute time limit now, by the way, this year on the allotted time for review of instant replay. Anthony Dillwig with Keith Woodside lined up as the deep back in the eye. Play fake. Dillwig. Pass is caught by Fullwood for a gain of a couple out in the right flat. Mike Wilcher makes the tackle. They're working on Tim Harris.
You know, usually when they do that type of thing, it's more of a cramp than it is an injury. You know, when you move that foot back just to get that cramp out of there. And then you can see he's drinking some liquids because it is humid down there and you sweat a heck of a lot.
He's mixing some kind of thing.
Well, I know it. He's probably trying to get some electrolytes in there. He never used to have those. You know, I see Fuzzy Thurston. They didn't have electrolytes when Fuzzy Thurston was playing guard for the Packers.
They didn't have electric lights when he was playing guard for the Packers. That's an incomplete pass for Dillwig. Anthony Dillwig, one of the brighter quarterbacks to go into the draft in '89, was talking yesterday about the learning process. What did he tell you? He had learned from negative reinforcement.
And I had no idea what that meant. And then he said, well, if you keep getting hit from your left side, when you feel it coming, you move to the right. I go, oh, that's negative reinforcement, he called it.
3rd down and 8. Rams prevent defenses in. Four-man rush. Nice job of stepping up in the pocket. Flag is down. The catch is made by Haddix, but apparently a holding call will wipe out the 11-yard gain.
Yeah, that's in the area of holding, and that'll happen a lot of times when a quarterback starts to scramble. The defensive lineman puts himself in another position, and you have to hold him.
Holding. Number 77 on the offense. Still 3rd down.
Tony Mandarich.
Well, of course, you know, they boo him, but I'll tell you, Tony Mandarich has done a good job in this game, you know, because he's done a good job of pass protection. He hasn't been beaten. And, again, it's tough when a quarterback scrambles on you. You watch Mandarich right here. Now, as the quarterback, see, he's okay right there. He's okay. Now, when the quarterback starts to run, I don't know what they're going to call him there. I don't think that was holding.
I don't either.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to be able to do that. That was a bad call.
3rd and 18. 17-14, Green Bay leads. Little rollout by Dillwig. Incomplete. Intended for Clarence Weathers at the Los Angeles 35.
But Mandarich has done a good job. He had some problem. It's his first year as a starter, of course, his 2nd year in the league, and he got all that thing when he came into the league about, you know, he was going to do this and he was going to do that, and he held out. Last year was a wasted year for him, and he's coming over and saying he didn't hold, and I would think he's right. Got that big old tattoo in his right arm. You can play in the NFL with a tattoo in your right arm.
Or elsewhere. Bracken. Touchback. Don Bracken not happy. Charles Wilson down to try and down it. Couldn't do so. Touchback at the 20. 10-17 to go, 3rd quarter. Second-year man Tony Mandarich on the Green Bay bench. Got the tattoo working on his right arm.
Well, I was trying to read it there. Look, it says appetite. The first word is appetite for something. But you have to have a big arm to do that. We'll figure what it says on there before, but you start off appetite for. If you don't have a big arm, you can't put anything else on there.
Kurt Warner. Stopped by Johnny Holland and Brian Noble. Well, Mandarich has lost a lot of weight since he reported. May have a big appetite as well as a big arm.
Well, at Michigan State, you know, he was up like 325 pounds or 330 pounds, and then he's around 288 now.
Wade Wilson has thrown a touchdown pass to Herschel Walker. Put Minnesota back on. Second down and 9. Clipper Anderson comes in motion. Everett back. Looks deep left side. Henry Ellard had gotten loose. Fumble. And a Green Bay recovery. Second time in the quarter. Mark Lee with a hit. Jerry Holmes with the recovery.
Yeah, when you see that, you know that the defense is taught to do that. You see 2 in a row. We saw it happen to Pete Holohan, and now we see it happen here to Ellard. And what happens as you come in, you go for the tackle, but you also go to punch the ball out. Now watch Mark Lee right there. He just puts his hand right around Ellard's arms, and he just pulls the arms apart, then the ball goes.
That's the third Los Angeles turnover of the day. Green Bay has played flawless football on offense. Brett Fullwood lines up behind Anthony Dilweg. Woodside in motion. Little cutback play by Fullwood down to the 37-yard line. Sellout crowd, 57,000 plus on hand at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Opening day of the 1990 regular season in the National Football League. Vern Lundquist and John Madden here. And the Packers on top 17-14, a lead they held at the half. When they came from behind in the final 2 minutes, Jeff Query caught a 47-yard touchdown pass from Anthony Dilweg. That is the difference in the game right now. Second down and 6. Sterling Sharp has been kind of quiet today. He comes wide to the left side. Lined up against Bobby Humphrey. Dilweg. Oh, what a pop on Perry Kemp at the 20. Delivered by Anthony Newman.
I tell you, and that's not as big a defensive thing as that is a quarterback for leading him into that. I tell you, that is a tough thing. When that safety is coming across like that and you lead him in, that is murder. Newman was coming across. He had that thing zeroed in all the way. I think that's where you have to look that free safety off. Remember how Everett did, so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Dilweg had his eyes on Kemp from the outset. 4 wide receivers now on 3rd and 7. Dilweg, right side. Flag is down in the backfield, incomplete pass, no catch.
And it's in that area of holding again against the Packers. I don't think, if it is, I don't think the Rams would take it anyway because it was an incomplete pass. That would bring up 4th down. John Robinson, I'm sure, will turn this penalty down.
75 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
This time they got Ken Rutgers, the left tackle.
Yeah, see, to kick a field goal, it would have to be a 54-yard field goal. You just see it's Rutgers right there, number 75. He ends up with a chokehold there on Kevin Green.
Oh, as Anthony Dilweg told us yesterday, he tried to watch a football game on television, but his offensive linemen were in watching the World Wrestling Federation.
Probably to get ready for Kevin Green. You know, Kevin Green looks like Hulk Hogan to me. He's a smaller Hulk Hogan, but his face looks like Hulk Hogan. And he talks like Hulk Hogan.
Brackett. Oh, good punt. Nice downfield coverage by Charles Wilson. So the Rams get it back, but they get it back 98 yards away from the goal line. 8:27 to go, 3rd quarter, 17-14 Green Bay. Packers have covered 2 turnovers in this 3rd quarter, both inside the 50-yard line, 0 points. But they do have the Rams 10 back, and Tim Harris is back in the lineup after a cramp. Everett from the end zone. Left side. Caught. Fumble. Jerry Holmes was close to it. But I think the Rams will retain possession as Holmes couldn't cover it.
That has to kill John Robinson. He can't believe it. It's the third time in a row. Of course, they got this one back. Holohan catches the ball. Boom. He fumbles it. Then they get another one and they fumble it. Then their defense has to go in. They've done a heck of a job of holding off. Then they throw the third one in a row that was caught and fumbled.
That one bounced out of the hands of Jerry Holmes and is out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Mark Murphy's interception on the 4-yard line led to the first Green Bay touchdown back in the first half. But the last two fumbles have resulted in Green Bay punts.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I'm sure what John Robinson's thinking over in the sideline is that's what happens when you don't have practice, when you don't have your players out there practicing. It's the little things like that that hurt you.
Well, the play is being reviewed, apparently. They want to check on the yardage where it went out of bounds.
Yeah, because he had control of it. You see, when he catches the ball here, he has control of it there last. Now they're going to go where the ball went out of bounds. You see, Green Bay could have recovered it right there. Mark Lee, it looked like, but it went right through his arm.
Well, that appears to have gone out at the 19-yard line. Now they're going to move it back to the 9-yard line. I'm sure Red Cashin will explain this to us. I hope he will.
Yeah, because the Rams...
The ball is placed at the spot of the fumble, which was the 9.5-yard line. That would not be a first down. It'll be the Rams ball, but it's second down.
Yeah, you can't gain yardage on that, but I thought he caught the ball more upfield than that. I thought it went right out. We watch here where he fumbles it just over the line there, so he's at the 9. So then it goes back, not where it went out of bounds, but where the ball was fumbled. And of course, had Green Bay picked that up, it would have been their ball, and it looked like they were close to it, but they never got control of it.
Second down and 2. Kurt Warner short of the first down. Brian Noble with the hit.
Now this is a big down for both teams. Yeah, if the Rams can get a first down, then they can work out of here and get some field position. The Packers can hold them. They're going to get the field position.
Noble replaced by Burnell Dent. He comes off favoring. Looked like he was favoring his shoulder.
You know, he could have hurt that on that play before. Remember when he went out before, and he probably thought it was okay and went back in again and found out it wasn't.
They brought the chain out. It is just short of the first down. Third and that much, and Noble in agony on the Packer bench, or just in front of it. Brian Noble out of Arizona State. Just a clarification of the rule, you can't recover a fumble that goes forward, right?
Well, that's from the old days of
I remember well, yes.
But we had the one against San Diego.
Yeah, Stabler's mind did flash into my head. Flags are down.
Oh, the Rams jumped off sides, and I don't know if they made it anyway.
False start. Number 88 on the offense, still third down.
Bob Nelson urging his defensive teammates on.
I tell you, that's a killer there when that happens. You see what happens? It's the end man on the line of scrimmage. It wasn't 88. They had the wrong guy. 88 was coming in motion. He was okay. It was the tight end jumped off sides.
So the ball is marched back to the 7-yard line. Tampa Bay continues to roll, and Minnesota on top of Kansas City. 3rd and 6. Everett looking left all the way. Henry, no catch. Interesting that John Robinson told us yesterday, I'm afraid we're going to have a number of tipped balls.
And that's because they haven't practiced. And he was worried about the tip balls, and those are the things that are happening to him today. But I'll tell you, a lot of this is caused by very, very aggressive Green Bay Packer defense.
That last bit of the defensive puzzle was applied by Leroy Butler, number 36. And Keith English is on the punt on 4th down. So for the 3rd time in this quarter, the Packers will get it. Apparently inside the 50, but if so, Jeff Query will have to hustle. He comes down at the 49 of Green Bay. Pat Terrell, the 2nd-round draft choice out of Notre Dame, made the tackle. John Robinson's Rams trailed by 3, 6:55 to go, 3rd quarter. Don't forget, next Saturday, the season premiere of college football on CBS. A doubleheader for you in the afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern. Pittsburgh against Oklahoma. Sooners won big against UCLA yesterday. And then 9 o'clock Eastern Saturday night, one of the great matchups in college football, Michigan against Notre Dame. Washington up 21-0. Mark Rippon has thrown his 3rd touchdown pass in that game. 1st and 10 from the 50. Packers lead it by 3. Dillard, short drive. Harry Kemp close for the 1st down. Now for an NFL update. Let's go back to our New York studios and Greg Gumbel.
Well, Vern, a tough debut for Joe Bugel at Washington. Tim Rosenbaugh's pass deflected, picked off by Alvin Walton. 4th interception thrown by Rosenbaugh today. 57-yard return, and it's the Redskins all over Phoenix, 28-0. Back to Vern.
And, of course, it's Joe Bugel's homecoming. He was the offensive line coach for Joe Gibbs for many years with the Hogs. 2nd down and short from the 41. Forward. Inside the 35 to the 33. Vince Newsom with the tackle.
I think if the Packers are going to win, they have to start winning right here in this thing, because they had the ball on the 42 on that turnover. They didn't do anything. Then they got it on the 41. They didn't do anything. This time they got it on the 50. You don't get that many opportunities, and you can't come up with goose eggs.
They do have a 1st down now. Philadelphia continues to lead the Mets, but at last report, Pittsburgh was trailing. Well, they've scored a run. It's 4-1 Montreal. And Boston trailing Seattle. Oakland on top of New York. Toronto over Chicago in the 4th. 1st and 10, Green Bay. Woodside in motion. Here's a reverse fake. And Dillwick fires it behind the intended receiver, Brent Fullwood, but a pretty good defensive job by Vince Newsom, who was right there.
And the other good job was Kevin Green. Anytime a quarterback moves, you have to keep him contained. And after that reverse fake, Kevin Green didn't go for it. He went boom. He came up the field, and he was right there waiting for Dillwick. Watch him here on the outside. See, the ball goes away, the fake reverse. Now watch at the top of the picture. See Kevin Green? He didn't go for it. So Dillwick had to throw it down. Green makes contact with Dillwick. Incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10. Fake. Inside, incomplete. That's a coulda had, a shoulda had. Well, that's hitting the seam of a zone. Woodside went right through the seam of the Rams zone. Dillwick did his part of it. Woodside just didn't catch it. But that's a dangerous throw, because once you catch it, you know there's going to be a heck of a collision. And that brings up a 3rd and 10. Packers tenaciously hanging on to a 3-point edge, 17-14, 5:21 to go. 3rd quarter, they are just 2 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and 10, Green Bay. Boy, that was dead from the start. Well, it's the 3rd time they went to that quarterback draw. The 1st time it worked from shotgun. The 2nd time it didn't work from shotgun. That time they tried it from regular formation. Now they got a tough thing there. They had a 52-yard field goal here. That's a regular formation. See, he goes about 3 steps, boom, and then he's going to hit it. But he just ran into his own guy, Ron Holstrom, there. But there was no hole there anyway. The Rams are not a good team to draw against, really, because they're not that big a pass rushing team.
Now Chris Jackie in his second year will try a 53-yard field goal. Don Bracken will hold. That's got a lot of distance. It's good. Well, Lindy and Fonte said, we told Chris Jackie in the offseason he was our guy. We didn't even bother to bring another play sticker to training camp.
And then when you get a 53-yarder from your guy, you make that sign that says, I made the right decision. But that was the third opportunity the Packers had. They had to get something on the scoreboard. They had 3 great opportunities, and I think Lindy was more excited about breaking that thing than he was about anything else. John Robinson's defense has done a super job for him in holding those Packers off with those opportunities.
In 1981, Jan Stenerud kicked a 53-yarder against Tampa Bay, and Chris Jackie in his second year has just tied it. Speaking of Tampa Bay, they still lead by 14. Minnesota hangs on to a 4-point edge. That score hasn't changed in a long time. And Washington, you saw the highlight from Greg, 28-0 now over Phoenix. Redskins, of course, came on so strong at the end of last year. Here's a touchback. Lattenberry, the one-time running back out of the University of Oregon, who's been converted to a defensive back. Number 42 goes down to one knee, and the Rams will come out to the 20-yard line as Chris Jackie has a smile heading to the Packer bench. Don't forget, coming up, Pete Sampras, the 19-year-older against 20-year-old Andre Agassi. The men's final of the U.S. Open. Sampras with a victory late yesterday over John McEnroe, and Agassi defeated Boris Becker. First All-American final in 10 years, 11 years, 1979. First and 10 to 20, a 6-point Green Bay edge. 4:42 to go, third quarter. Everett. Ellard. No, the timing just isn't there.
Well, that's right. That was one of those option passes where Ellard is going to come. If he's covered from the inside, he goes outside. Outside, he goes inside. And he tries to go out, and he's just not on the same page with Everett.
Brian Noble, who had a pinched nerve in his neck, is back in the lineup now, number 91. Second down and 10. Everett 15 of 26 for 216 yards. Most of those yards, big plays to Flipper Anderson. Draw play. Gaston Green, number 44, gets the call.
You know, Vern, part of that timing or rhythm being off is on the Rams' part, and the other part is Green Bay's part. That was their defensive plan, and they've had a good plan against the Rams, is to bump the receivers, to throw the receivers off when Everett's trying to go to him. And on that first play to Ellard, Carl Lee was right there bumping Ellard, and he couldn't go anyplace when Everett wanted to throw to him.
Here's Aaron Cox, Flipper Anderson. Finally, Holohan starts in motion. Third down, Everett being pressured. Pulls up, lets it go for Cox. Tip. Johnny Holland got a hand on it. And Buford McGee could not make the catch. It'll be fourth down.
This is the thing that's tough for a linebacker when a quarterback scrambles and you have to cover a running back man-to-man and you have to stay with him during a scramble. That's tough. Look at the pressure. There's Tim Harris. He's making Everett throw it right at that point underneath his arm.
Jeff Query back to return the Keith English punt. This is a dandy. At the 23. They got a bit of a wall. Fumble. Rams recover.
That's a break that the Rams needed. You know, it was like every break was going the other way. The Packers were making them happen. Now you never know when you're going to get help. Sometimes your defense will win a game. Sometimes it's an offense. Here's a guy, Wiltshire, coming down. in making the a fumble recovery here. Mike Wiltshire, their starting outside linebacker. The Packer just kicked it with his foot. I don't even think he saw it. He darn near stepped on it, and Wiltshire was right there to make the recovery.
Did not see it at all. The first Green Bay turnover of the ball game. 1st and 10 from the Los Angeles 48. 17 or 20 to 14. Green Bay leads. Warner again. Blaze Winter and Robert Brown there for the tackle.
There was that big first-round draft choice of the Rams. You saw him in there, Bernd Brostick. He's a big guy. He's 300 pounds. He was drafted as a center. Ron Robinson was saying, he said, you're going to like this guy. He said, he's the type of guy that, he's going to be all Madden in a couple of years, and he'll be there for 10 years.
Now, what he said, John, was that he didn't dress real well.
Well, no, that's what makes him all Madden. You just hang some stuff over a big old body. You don't dress.
2nd down and 8.
What he does, he just hangs some stuff on it.
Everett. Holohan at the 29-yard line. 1st down, L.A. A gain of 21.
That's the thing that, when you get where you need a play, I think Jim Everett probably feels Pete Holohan is his most comfortable guy. And he's the type of guy who has great hands, although he did fumble one today, but is a guy who will always get open for you.
Holohan over 50 catches in each of the last 2 years. 51 last year, 59 the year before, since being acquired from San Diego. 4 today for 37 yards. 1st and 10 at the 29. Rams trail by 6. Blitz. Quick drop. Incomplete. Buford McGee.
Jim Everett was saying that every play that he has a timing schedule. Every pass has a timing schedule. He also says as he's looking for the plays here, the Rams send 2 plays in. They'll send a run in and a pass in. He looks at the defense, says check with me, and then audibilizes either the run or the pass, depending on how the defense lines up.
This is the system of Ernie Zampese, who, of course, worked with Don Coryell in San Diego for so many years. Here's Everett back. Face of pressure. That one quacked as it was let go. Harris was in there. Scott Stephen was in there.
And that's what made the quack. It was those 2 linebackers, Tim Harris and Scott Stephen. If you hang on a quarterback's arm, it'll go quack on you. Watch this. He starts to look to the left, had nothing there. Look at the pressure there. Boom, just as he goes to throw it, that'll turn that thing end over end for you.
2:01 to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 10, Los Angeles. Tim Harris with 1 sack today. And a couple of pressures. 3rd and 10. 4-man Green Bay rush. Holohan tackled by Leroy Butler at the 25, short of the 1st down.
Good defense again by the Packers. I know John Robinson doesn't want to have to settle for a field goal, but it's better than the way things have been going for him. At least he has an opportunity there.
Lansford 0 for 1, missed at the end of the half from 42. 8 of 10 from between the 40 and 50 last year. Holohan will hold it on 4th and 5 to cut the lead in half. No problem with that one. Mike Lansford.
I'll tell you, I bet he's glad that he's up here kicking in Green Bay at this time of year. He kicks barefooted, but look what happens. You always wonder what happens to a guy when he kicks barefooted. He's developed a callus there. You see that red thing right there? He's developed a callus there, so that's where he wants the ball to hit all the time. This is his plant foot. This is his kicking foot. This is the callus, and this is the point that you put that foot on the ball. I'll tell you, I don't know how you would get started. That's okay after you get the callus. I wonder how it feels while you're developing that callus.
Remember Rich Carlos kicked barefoot all those years in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
I just do not understand.
Well, he's been holding out the last 2 years, too.
That's right. Maybe it's because he wants his foot to heal.
Yeah, or fall out. I think they put those things in refrigerators. just freeze them.
1:17 to go, third quarter. Mike Lansford will kick off.
Look at that. You see, you can do a lot with a bare foot. See how he just cleans that thing? He just does a little flick and some mud comes out and stuff. Boy, your foot has to love your body to stay around there.
Wilson. Bernays makes the tackle. Number 51. Doubleheader for you next Sunday on CBS. Begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern. Most of you will see Chicago at Green Bay, Phoenix, Philadelphia, the Rams at Tampa Bay, Atlanta at Detroit. And then game 2 of the doubleheader, John and Pat will be out at San Francisco for the Redskins and 49ers. Others will see the Giants at Dallas or New Orleans at Minnesota. And how about the debut today of Greg and Terry and Leslie and Pat? Nice job, guys. They'll be back again next Sunday at 12:30 Eastern. First down and 10 from the 20. 20-17 now, 1:09 to go, third quarter. Hills timing pass. Vince Workman, number 46, had lined up way out to the left side.
Well, that's one that they tried to sneak in. You know, you do that on first down on a new series. I'm sure that's one they talked about on the sideline. They sneak Workman in. He's a back who also, you know, flanks out from time. He's a good receiver. Put him out wide and then try and hit him on the first down right at the change of possession.
Bobby Humphrey was defending. Saw the stats on Anthony Dilweg. Second and 10. 20-17 Green Bay. Play fake, short setup. Oh my goodness. Simply a case of Dilweg losing a handle on the football.
Yeah, you always wonder why they wear those sweat things on their wrist and why they have the towel. I think that's exactly right. Exactly the reason, so that the sweat doesn't come down on your hand and you can always keep a dry hand.
I see Mikowski and Blair Keel standing next to each other.
They have everything dry, those two guys. They haven't had to play. I think that Mikowski is going to be the starter. I don't know whether it's going to be next week or the week after that, but I would think in the next 2 weeks he'll be starting for the Packers.
3rd and 12. Dilweg. Nice pass. Sterling Sharp in the middle of the crowd. First down at the 32. A gain of 15.
Again, let's watch the pass protection. They've had good pass protection today. Watch Mandrich up here, number 77, the right tackle. He gets back. He has good feet. Now, that's how you pick up a stunt. You see, you take your guy, you pass your guy into the offside, and then you take the other guy coming. That was a good pickup of a stunt.
That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Green Bay 20 and the Rams 17. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Back to start the final quarter, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Lambeau Field. Vern Lundquist and John Madden. Heck of a game for the first regular season game in 1990. 20-17, Green Bay on top. They had a 17-14 lead at the half. First down and 10. Draw play, flag down. Bullwood comes right. Runs into Frank Stamms, number 50.
One thing I think the Packers are going to learn that against the Rams, a draw play does not work. That's about the 5th one that they've run, or 6th one today. They only gained yardage on one of them. That was a quarterback draw from the shotgun.
The offense. That penalty is declined. It's second down.
See, both of those guys are given signals. One is Blair Keel in the white shirt. He's the live one. Then Don Mikowski is the dummy one. So if the quarterback just watches Keel.
Looked like he was making a movie.
Well, yeah, and then Mikowski can do anything he wants, and that doesn't count. He's dummy.
Second down and 9. Sharp in motion. Second down. Lights out. Well, we we talked about the number of plays per game that have been reduced because of the new rules concerning time in the NFL. The average last year after 3 quarters, 117 plays. Today we had 103 after 3 quarters.
And I think those are the 2 biggest concerns of the coaches anyway. Is one, that you have fewer plays, and then the other one is that shortened halftime. They don't have time at halftime to get their strategy work done.
3rd and 9. New commissioner of the NFL, Paul Tagliabue. There's Manrich back in with that tattoo on his right side. Paul Tagliabue is here today. A chance to chat with him before the game. Stunts by the Rams. Dilweg deep left, caught by Query. That's a first down at the LA 48. And Dilweg is down at the 23. Very slow getting up. Wilcher got to him.
Hey, you know, it's usually Kevin Green, but today Wilcher has been putting probably more pressure on Dilweg than Green has. Green is blocked well up on top, and then it's the pressure right up the middle from Mike Wilcher. Wilcher's played a pretty good game today.
And at the other end, John.
Well, of course, Query has great speed, so you always have to be worried about him going on and up. And anytime he starts like he's going on and up and then stops and breaks it off, he can be open for a comeback. That was against Alfred Jackson.
Alfred Jackson, who was questionable for today, but is in there. Draw play. That's Workman up the middle. Goes right. Gets a block from Sharp. First down at the 16. Wilcher is hurt.
They finally broke something through. Watch the right side of the line. Holstrom comes down. Mandarich comes down, takes his guy to the inside. He gets a lead block there, a gaping hole. And then the rest of it is just running through a secondary. A little block down there by Sterling Sharp gets him 10 more yards.
While they tend to Mike Wilcher, time has been called. Thus far in the ball game, Jim Everett and Anthony Dilweg both with 17 completions. Turnovers, the Rams 3 and Green Bay 1. Very close ball game, 20-17. Green Bay holds onto the edge, and they're driving right now.
Well, that was a big run, that last play. You know, in the whole game, Green Bay had only rushed for 34 yards on 17 carries, and then boom, they just hit one for 31 yards down here. And I think that was the type of thing that they needed, something to make that Ram defense stand in there. Here was the play, and you can see good blocking. Mandarich down, a good kick out, a good lead block right there, and a 31-yard run.
So 2 big plays in this drive. The catch by Jeff Query, and that run by Vince Workman. And a first down at the 16-yard line. 12:25 to go in the ball game. Harris in motion. Workman again. Darts down to the 11, and the flag is thrown.
That was a heck of a block by the rookie tight end, Jackie Harris. He came in motion, and he blocked like a guard.
Face mask, L.A.
Lindy and Fondy really likes that Jackie Harris, and he's a good receiver, has good speed, and that was a pretty good block on that play.
Number 50 of the defense, 5 yards.
Watch right in the middle of this, number 80, where he comes right there, and he takes that defensive lineman and puts him on his back. Now that is what you call a block by a tight end. When he can knock a nose tackle like Alvin Wright on his back, you have brought some load.
Jackie Harris, a 4th-round draft choice from Northeast Louisiana. After the 5-yard penalty on Frank Stamms, a 1st and goal, Green Bay. 12 minutes to go in the ball game. Double tight end set. Play fake. Dilweg goes left and west. 2nd touchdown of the day. Nice job of ball handling by Anthony Dilweg. Chris Jackie on to tackle on the extra point. The lead is 10 with 11:49 remaining in the ball game. Packers up 27-17.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Goodyear. Goodyear salutes the kickoff of the 1990 NFL season. Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers, they'll get you noticed. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste, so get out of the old to get into the cold.
Back to play with 11:49 remaining in the ball game. Chris Jackie kicks it deep. Lattenberry will once again drop to one knee for a touchback as Jackie continues to pin the Rams deep on kickoffs.
Yeah, if you look at that last touchdown pass, it's an interesting thing. When they had two backs in here, now both backs go this way, and the quarterback comes. So that's a roll. So they have everything going here. Now the tight end here was West. He sneaks out here. All the flow comes this way. Boom, he stops and throws back to West on that thing. So that's what you call a roll. Both backs going to the same side as the quarterback and then throwing back.
Rams now with a first down and 10 from the 20, 11:43 remaining in the ball game. Jim Everett, quick drop. Whoa, boy. Mark Murphy nearly had his second interception of the day and would have had a touchdown.
Okay, now let's look at the touchdown and we'll see it. We'll see what I'm talking about. Backs come this way, quarterback comes this way, flow goes this way, West is right here, boom, he goes out here. I want you to see what happens when everything starts this way. See all the players coming here? Now everything is there except West is there on that back side.
Was Brett Veronese trying to make the tackle. Here comes the blitz. Everett back. No, it's a fake blitz. That pass caught by Henry Elliott. Fumbles again. And Jerry Holmes picks it up. Packers have the ball. Holmes with an escort. Still on his feet.
As you said, John Robinson was worried about tip balls and things. I think that's part of it. The other thing that's part of it is that this Green Bay team is making things happen. They're making hits. They're popping that ball out of there. They're alert. Look, there's 5 green jerseys around the ball. These guys are really playing a great swarming defense today.
It has been a nightmarish afternoon for Henry Ellard. The 4th Ram turnover of the day. That time picked up by Jerry Holmes. First and goal at the 4.
I think what happens when you see 1 or 2 of those things happen, you say, geez, it's bad luck. But when you see as many as we've seen today, you have to say there's a reason for it.
Rams have called a timeout. 11:20 remaining in the ball game. Anthony Dilweg gets instructions. Packers first and goal from the 4. Of the 4 turnovers, 3 have been fumbles. Henry Ellard, 2 of the lost fumbles. He also had another that the Rams retained, and Pete Holohan had a fumble that was recovered. Been a long afternoon for Los Angeles. Tampa been a long afternoon for Wayne Fonts and the Detroit Lions, too.
I tell you, it's been a nice afternoon for these people here in Green Bay watching this Packer team. They are one hustling machine today, I'll tell you that.
First and goal from the 4. Harris in motion. Play fake. Dilweg. Oh, he had Jackie Harris wide open in the end zone. Never saw him. Never looked at him, and a flag is down. Number 80, the rookie tight end, had sneaked into the back of the end zone. Dilweg never looked that direction. Holding. Los Angeles.
Yeah, if you just watch Harris, you just let this go, and you'll see Harris is going to come in motion, and then he's going to go across. Now watch him at the right of the screen, and if we can just stop it right here, we see Harris is wide open here. Dilweg doesn't see him. That would have been the easiest touchdown he would ever throw.
Ball is on the 2.
Second down and goal from the 2-yard line. First and goal. Forward by Wilcher. Inside Strickland. Touchdown Green Bay. Extra point. Well, how about that? Missed it.
Hey, this is something, this display today. Everyone was worried about the quarterback situation. Anthony Dilweg, Don Mikowski holding out. And they forgot to remember about the other guys, the line and the blocking that they're doing, the defense. Look at this blocking here. The Green Bay offense has taken control of the line of scrimmage. And that was the thing coming in. I think there was a big thing. You know, don't worry about the quarterback. If the offensive line can do its job, then everything will be okay. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here today. The Green Bay offensive line has done its job.
And as a result, Green Bay has broken open a tight ball game. The lead is now 16 at 33-17 with 11:09 remaining. There is Tony Mandarich. By the way, that tattoo on his arm says Appetite for Destruction. It is the title. Now, John, I know you and I are going to know a lot about this. The title of an album by the rock group Guns N' Roses, of whom he is a big fan. Appetite for Destruction.
Well, you have to put something on there, I guess, when you got a big old arm like that, so you might as well start with that. It's as good as anything.
Here's the kickoff. And yet again, Jackie pins the Rams back. And they start from the 20. Lattenberry hasn't had a chance to return many.
Yeah, I think on that Green Bay sideline, I think there was a problem there. I think it's humid down there. And sometimes in these early season games in the heat, players do overheat. And with all that equipment and playing in a game like this, those types of things happen.
33-17. Rams have a first and 10 at the 20. Everett. That one's caught by Flipper Anderson, a first down at the 33-yard line.
I think you can see it's Tim Harris, we're told, and that cord going down there is intravenous. And they put that right into their veins to get the fluids in there. And it's usually a form of dehydration. As I said, with the humidity, that happens quite a bit in these early season games.
Everett back on first and 10. Into the zone, he finds Aaron Cox for a first down across midfield at the 47-yard line. Jerry Holmes makes the tackle. And the Rams will go with a hurry-up offense, 10 and a half remaining.
When they have the rhythm down, things going, they can make it look so easy.
Three-man Green Bay rush. There's the rhythm pass right side. Easy and quick. And the word from the bench is dehydration for Tim Harris.
And that's the thing. They have to get those fluids back in the body as quickly as they can. They didn't even want to waste time taking him to the dressing room.
First down and 10 after back-to-back big plays. Jim Everett. Across the middle, Henry Ellard hangs on after Murphy makes the catch. Another first down. First final of the day, Tampa Bay rolls over Detroit 38-21. Vinny Testaverde with a big day.
Well, the Rams know that they need some points here quick, so they aren't even huddling up. And they're just a smooth machine now.
There's Kurt Warner. Down at the 8-yard line, maybe as far as the 7 before Mark Lee makes the tackle, number 22.
You know, sometimes we know Tim Harris isn't in there, and sometimes the guy's in there, and then when he goes out, you wonder, you know, what is the effect of him being out? I think we're seeing it right now. You take a Tim Harris off this Green Bay Packer defense, and that's a different defense.
Second down and 1. Warner dancing down to the 3-yard line. That'll be first and goal, Los Angeles. Brian Noble with the tackle.
Yeah, they come in and they make it look this easy. The Rams are still going no huddle. Now Jim Everett's bringing them back and saying huddle up. But, you know, people always say, well, why didn't they do that the whole game? You know, it made it look so easy, because if you don't get the first few things going, you can't make the whole thing go like that. Plus, you can't play at that speed the whole game.
First and goal, Los Angeles from the 2. Kurt Warner stopped at the 1. And the clock shows 8:32 remaining in the game.
Down here in the goal line, what you want to do is you want everyone to get low. All the defense gets underneath the offense shoulder pad. And the guy who gets the lowest, the shoulder pads that get underneath the other guy's shoulder pads, will always win the goal line battles.
In that case, it was Blaze Winter, number 68, who led the charge. It's second down and goal from the 2. Play fake. They look for Holohan. He's got it. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
That was the same type of play. They go play fake, waggle, sneak Holohan out into the right flat.
Boy, that was quick.
I know, that didn't take any time going down the field.
Tim Harris is up and sitting on the bench, and we look at the touchdown.
Watch this. We're going to see the play fake here. Bootleg out to the right, and then he's going to pick up Holohan in the left-hand part of the end zone.
Lansford with the extra point. Lead is down to 9, and just in a tiny portion of your memory, recall the missed extra point by Chris Jackie.
Well, then you also recall the kick that hit the goalpost just before halftime. So we have some of those kicks there, and it's funny how you don't think much of the kicking game, but towards the end of the game, it always becomes a big, big part.
Let's bring you through the entire afternoon. Kurt Warner opened the scoring, 3:35 left in the first quarter. And then Ed West caught a touchdown pass to tie it up in the second quarter. Chris Jackie's 26-yard field goal put Green Bay on top. Anderson caught a 40-yard pass from Everett to put the Rams up, but then Jeff Query, 47-yard pass from Dillwig to make it 17-14 at the half. Jackie's 53-yard field goal increased the Green Bay lead to 6. Lansford countered from 41 yards out. And then in the fourth quarter, Ed West, his second touchdown pass from Dillwig to make it 27-17. Following a turnover, Fullwood's 4-yard run made it 33-17. And just moments ago, Holohan caught the pass from Jim Everett. And the lead is now 9 and still 8 minutes, 11 seconds to go. So a lot of time left. Charles Wilson at the 5. Near the 26-yard line. Cleveland Garrett Lattenberry made the tackle, number 42.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation for Green Bay now. Vernon, what type of approach do you take? You have a 9-point lead. Percentage-wise, it tells you to be conservative, but when you're playing the Rams, and they just showed you how quickly they can score, I don't think you can afford to be conservative.
So you just stay with what you've been doing all afternoon.
I think so, and I think you have to have a good mixture. I think you have to keep throwing. I don't think you can pull in the horns.
They do start with 2 backs in the backfield, Vince Workman and Michael Haddix. Dillwig throws one pass down to Perry Kemp. And Kemp leans out to the 34-yard line in the wraps of Mickey Sutton. Mark Rippon's big day. Washington wins at 31-0 over Phoenix. And the Redskins go west to San Francisco to take on the 49ers as the second half of our doubleheader next weekend. Green Bay will be at home against Chicago. Many of you will see that as the first half of the doubleheader next week. Anthony Dilweg, first start. And a very commendable effort. 3 touchdowns, 19-31. And second down and 1. Green Bay leads it by 9. See where they spot it. It's a gain of 1, but will it be enough to move the chain? Fred Strickland makes the tackle.
This is the thing that Green Bay is looking for. They're looking for first downs here. John Robinson, the other side, he wants the ball back. These guys, the thing now, time is so important. The more of those times you can get that referee to do that, meaning first down, then the better you feel. Conversely, on the other side, that's the last thing you want to see.
Under 7 minutes. 1st and 10. Green Bay. Somewhat reminiscent of last year's game between these two, which wound up 41-38. But in that one, the Rams were out 38-7 and then had to hold off the Packers comeback before winning. Workman for a couple to the 38-yard line. Fred Strickland, number 53, makes the tackle.
There comes a point where the clock is more important than the score, but I don't think we've gotten to that point yet.
What is that point?
Yeah, I always feel with a 10-point lead, you have to be within 2 minutes. Then that becomes a point. I think right now you're talking about still 6 minutes. I think you need first downs for 4 more minutes is what we're talking about.
So it's a long way from being decided.
That's right. I mean, you know, and then first down is always a big play. A touchdown, of course, makes you start your celebration. And then on the Rams side, they just want the ball back.
Dilweg. Well, they are working on the clock. That's a gain of 1.
Yeah, that could be a mistake, too. You see, there's an anxious quarterback. Jim Everett knows. He's confident right now. He knows if we can get the ball enough times, we'll beat these guys because we can score. The question is, can they get the ball enough times? There's Ernie Zampese up there. He's thinking about what plays they're going to run the next time they get the ball.
5:18 remaining. 3rd and 6. Green Bay from the 40. Kemp and Weathers come to the near side. Sharp and Query split off to the left. 9-man front for the Rams. They jump. The cadence fooled them. A free play, and Dilweg throws it out of bounds.
Oh, that's one you don't want to throw out of bounds when you know you have a free play. You want to go for something. He threw that one away. The penalty's going to be against the Rams, but the Packers are still going to have to get a first down. It's not going to be enough to give them a first down.
Oh, that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Number 91 on the defense, still 3rd down.
Now everyone's saying, well, had he been in training camp, he wouldn't have jumped off sides.
Are you saying that?
No, I'm not saying that. No, he's a good player.
Lambeau Field, 4:57 remaining. 33-24. Green Bay leading the Los Angeles Rams. It was a 17-14 Green Bay lead at the half. 3rd and 1. Anthony Dilweg brings them up. Don't forget the U.S. Open men's final following our game. Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. 3rd and 1. Play fake. Dilweg. All kinds of room. First down at the 41. Gain of 14.
Here's a happy guy, Anthony Dilweg. And I'll tell you, he was helped by that penalty. That 5-yard penalty gave him the opportunity to do this. It's a play fake and it's a bootleg, and he has the option there to run or pass. But he saw that first down, he saw that green grass, and he was going to run all the way on that one.
4th carry today, 26 yards. And the clock stops with 4:51 to go.
You know, the key play on that was that offside.
Right.
Because had he been third and 6 or 7, he couldn't have run that play.
Sampras and Agassi next. Men's final. U.S. Open tennis. Red Bull to the 37-yard line. Chicago wins. Blanks Seattle 17-0. The Bears are here next week.
That'll be a good one.
Sure will.
Always a good one.
Remember that game last year between the two teams when Mikowski throws the winning touchdown, and was he or was he not over the line?
Oh, yeah, I was in Chicago last week. They're still talking about that one.
33-24. 4:16 to go. On 2nd and 7, Fullwood hit, driven back, and still struggles forward for about 2. Vince Newsom and Frank Stamms tackle him.
And this brings up another big 3rd down play. And the Rams are taking a timeout because they know, see, the Rams have to think in terms of 2 scores.
Right.
So they have to get the ball back twice and get 2 scores. So they're starting to take their timeouts now, knowing that they're going to get it at the 2-minute, and knowing that right now they need a big 3rd down defensive play.
That is the 2nd timeout used by Los Angeles, leaves them with 1. Jim Everett took the team 80 yards in 2 minutes and 48 seconds the last time Los Angeles had the ball and hit Holohan with a touchdown. But they need it twice more, as John said. Don't forget next, Pete Sampras, the 19-year-old, against ancient Andre Agassi, all of 20. Men's U.S. Open final. Those of you who just joined us, Tampa Bay over Detroit 38-21. Chicago wins over Seattle. Mark Rippon had a big day, 31-0. Washington over Phoenix. 3rd. And out of the shotgun, Dillway to Perry Kemp. And that is short of the 1st down at the 33-yard line.
Big play by Nicky Sutton.
Right.
Nicky Sutton made a tackle there. They just picked him up off the waiver wire. If he doesn't make the tackle, if Kemp gets a 1st down, that's a different play. Green Bay has a decision now, Vern. Are they going to go for it, which they're going to, we just saw it, or let the Rams, you'll go for some kind of kick here. I think in this situation, you might as well. You're talking about a 50-yard field goal.
Now, Jackie has kicked 153.
Right, so you'd be a 50-yard field goal. You wouldn't want to punt. If you punt it in the end zone, it just comes out to the 20. You only pick up 12 yards.
Well, they're going to take the, they're going to call timeout. And the clock at 2:56.
I still think this is an interesting decision. I think one thing I wouldn't do if I were the Packers, I wouldn't punt. My decision would be, do I go for it on 4th down, or do I go for the field goal?
Jackie is coming on the field. He's hit from 53 already today. And this will be, what, 51 yards? Something close to that.
It's about 50 yards. I would think the 3rd thing you could do is you could go for it on 4th down. You could kick a field goal. Or the 3rd thing that may not be bad here is a fake field goal. Then the game would be over if it were successful.
4th and 2. Don Bracken is the holder. And this will be from 51. Jackie, as you saw, has hit 2 today, 26 and 53. Got it. Flag is down.
And I think it's going to be against the Rams, which will give the Packers a 1st down. This is a big, big decision for Lindy Infante.
Do you take points off the board?
I don't know, because you can still be beaten by 2 touchdowns. This is a big decision. I've always had the rule, I'd never take the points off the board.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 50 on the defense, running forward and jumping up the block. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. First down.
Well, the one thing it does, it gives you good field position.
Right.
And that's that old rule, you know, where you can't run and jump on a guy. But they still have to take those 3 points off the board. But look at the field position they get. They're getting the ball inside the 20.
It is a 15-yard penalty. So they get the ball at the 18-yard line. And a first down for the Green Bay Packers with 2:51. So Infante does decide to take the points off the board.
Well, you know, really, if you think about it, it's a good decision because you take the points off the board, but look at the field position you're getting by doing that. I would think the only thing that will come back to haunt you here is a turnover.
Forward. Los Angeles, of course, can stop the clock one more time. They have one timeout left, and they will get it stopped with the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the other reason for taking the points off the board is the Rams have already used 2 of their timeouts.
Timeout number 3.
That's the last
they
one.
just used the 3rd there. So now I think they're in that position where time is more important than points.
John Robinson out on the field.
He said he didn't want a timeout, or that there were 10 seconds off the clock after he took the timeout. Well, that's what he's saying, yeah.
Red Cashin comes over to chat with John. Well, while they continue the conversation, we have a chance to tell you the coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Charles H. Milton III. Today's game produced by Bobby Stenner. Robert V. Stenner. Directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today produced by Eric Mann. Directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer David Winter. And our executive producer Ted Shaker. Don't forget next, the men's final. Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi.
I think that's what he's arguing about, Vern, is that when he called timeout, the clock kept going. He's still saying we called timeout and the clock didn't stop. But I think now all the Packers have to do is just hold on to the ball.
Final timeout for the Rams.
Because the Rams will get one more timeout at the 2-minute.
Dallas leading San Diego 7-0 first quarter. Second down and 8. Roll out, waggle actually. And Bill Wood is knocked down at the 25-yard line. Loss of 8.
And now the Rams can't take a timeout now. They have to wait till the 2-minute warning. So that'll give them a timeout, and then change of possession will give them another timeout.
33-24. And the Packers will milk the clock now down to the 2-minute warning.
Tell you, these guys have come up with a great effort today. I've been impressed with Anthony Dilweg, just the way he's handled himself out there in the field.
So we are at the 2-minute warning. A 33-24 Green Bay lead over the Los Angeles Rams. Tonight on CBS, one faces domestic chaos, the other faces a war. How far will Bush and Gorbachev go to help each other? 60 Minutes goes to the summit to find out. That's tonight. Tomorrow, don't miss a special hour of sneak previews on CBS, starting with Uncle Buck. He's rude, he's crude, and he's family. Catch Uncle Buck starting at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then stay tuned for Lenny, the working class hero who's got something to say about everything. Don't miss the sneak previews of these great new comedies tomorrow on CBS. 3rd and 16 at the 2-minute time. Rams cannot stop the clock. Michael Haddix is down after a gain of 2. U.S. Open men's final, Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, that's up next. And a final, Kansas City knocks off Minnesota by 3, 24-21. Just to keep you up to date on the play count, last year the average plays per game, both teams 154. Now obviously we've got 125 to go in this game, but thus far we've had 131 plays.
You know, and the interesting thing is the game has still gone over 3 hours.
3:15 is met.
There's a guy that did a heck of a job. You know, yesterday he seemed kind of excited about this game and playing today, and I thought, boy, he's going to, you know, be a little over anxious, but he sure maintained his cool and his calmness all day.
Packers have called timeout. They've used one of theirs. Anthony Dilweg, first start, second year as a pro, 248. The yardage number, 3 touchdowns, and Don Mikowski. They became good friends last year, as good as friends can be when they are competing for the same job. But express a mutual respect for each other.
Well, you know, Dilweg almost beat Mikowski out last year.
Preseason.
He was a rookie in the preseason, and then Mikowski went on to have the great year, and we called the Magic Man and all that. As you say, winning makes everyone happy.
Dilweg is saying, can I have some of that $1.5 million you just signed for?
Yeah, it's good to see Tim Harris up, because he did have a problem there with that dehydration.
Jackie will try it again, and it's good again. 40 yards. And the lead goes up to 12 at 36-24 with 1:06 remaining.
So he took the points off the board, took some time off the clock, and put the points back on the board.
It all worked just fine. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Green Bay Packers and the National Football League is prohibited.
Well, Dilweg did a good job. He had a good plan. And I think maybe the biggest thing, in addition to those, the job he did and the calmness and confidence, was the job the offensive line did. There's Billy Ard, his starting left guard, talking to him there. And I think those guys come under a lot of criticism. They didn't play well in the last 2 preseason games, but today they rose to the occasion.
A lot of folks felt that Green Bay took advantage of a 5th-place schedule last year in posting that 10-6 mark, and that their schedule this time around is so much more difficult they might not be able to equal it. But an impressive start today. Lattenberry will return this one. And he is out to the 29-yard line, so needing 2 touchdowns, Jim Everett and the Ram offense come on the field.
Well, you know that they're going to go for it. And this Ram, as we said earlier, this Ram team is a good team. It's one of the best in the NFL. It's not going to be good the first couple of weeks. I think they're going to be, after their break in midseason, they start to get healthy, they're going to be a top team. They're not today, but they knew that coming in.
Men's final coming up. We've got 1:02 remaining in the ball game. Everett back. Everett down. Tony Bennett, #1 draft pick. And Harris limping as he comes to the near side.
Yeah, I think that's cramps. He just has cramps. He's played like heck all day, and he's just starting to cramp up now. But this defensive secondary of the Packers has done an excellent job, too.
That catch is made by Aaron Cox, and it stops the clock with a first down at the 42, a 14-yard pickup.
Now, those are the 2 things, I think, the offensive line and the control of the Packers offense. Then on defense, their coverage, their pass coverage. You always say, what do you do to a rhythm quarterback? Get him out of his rhythm. And I'll say this group did that all day today.
Rams have to go on the road again next week. They're at Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers impressive winners today on the road to Detroit.
The poor Rams have been on the road for a year and a half.
Haven't they, though?
Remember at the end of last season,
New England?
going back east, New England, and Philadelphia, and New York. Then they come and say, oh, boy, we start the season, they go to Berlin or something. This team's the most traveled team in the history of any sport. This team, this Rams team.
Well, they're checking the replay now to see if Aaron Cox had both feet in bounds.
The play stands. First down.
And he has to catch a ball. Now, I don't think he did have both feet in bounds, but at this point,
do you care?
I don't know that that's that important. But he didn't have control of the ball and both feet in bounds.
39 seconds to go in the ball game. Everett in the 3 deep coverage. Mark Lee has the interception inside the 10. And the clock will stop on the turnover. 31 seconds. That's the 5th Ram turnover today.
Tell you, Jim Everett didn't come in with all his guns today, but the guns that he did bring in were really shut out by this Packer defense. They wanted to throw his timing off. They wanted to throw his rhythm off. They wanted to be in his face. They did all those things.
Mark Lee gets the interception. Everett will complete the day with 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. And here we go.
This could be the start of a tradition. Look out, Linden.
Noble and Harris.
They're asking Mikowski, who just signs for a Milski, to be a Hyde guy already. Look out, Lindy.
Next up for the Rams, a trip to Tampa Bay before they're at home against Philadelphia. And the Green Bay Packers win at 36-24. They have the Chicago Bears coming in to Lambeau Field next week. Back